Now, when Canelo comes out and says he thinks PBC the best, and his fans don't think they're the best, that's a conflict of interest. Now, I think I'm starting to realize people just want to pick sides in certain arguments. Let me go ahead and find this headline so I can post it. Cause I heard people saying, let me go ahead and find this headline real quick. Now we have people saying this. Let me go ahead and post this up real quick. Cause this was clickbait from the beginning. This was clickbait. When they said Canelo was parting ways with PBC, I knew then that the fix was in. Ever since I seen them say that Al Heyman wanted Canelo to fight Munguia, I knew what time it was. And I told people then, I said, man, it's a lot of fans giving Canelo credit for following behind Al Heyman. See, this is what's crazy. The fans sit up here and say, hey man, Al Heyman said Canelo needs to fight Munguia. So Al Heyman can tell Canelo what to do. But Turkey Al-Sheikh can't tell Canelo what to do. Is that what we at in boxing right now? Because that's all I'm hearing right now. I'm hearing that Canelo can basically be told by Al Heyman that he needs to fight Munguia or this or this or that. But then they say, that's what a lot of people in the media were saying. They were saying Al Heyman wanted the fight between Munguia and Canelo. Now, it's been a lot of things. I'm glad Canelo said what he said recently, but I'm going to go ahead and break this down real quick. Because early in the year when Canelo was looking for a mate to fight for Cinco de Mayo, a lot of people said that he part ways with PBC and that he was trying to fight Munguia. Then after that situation, they said that Canelo Alvarez was looking to turn around and fight Munguia because Al Heyman wanted him to fight Munguia. That don't make a lot of sense. Why would Al Heyman? How could he force Canelo to fight Munguia? That's why I'm kind of confused at. I never knew that. But then when we have this situation with PBC and Canelo that's going on now, he's giving PBC a lot of praise. He thinks that PBC is he thinks PBC is the best promotional company right now. Canelo does. Which is the opposite of what a lot of fans have been saying. And he said that his career would have been better if he would have had PBC all this time. Makes a lot of sense. Definitely makes a lot of sense. Because I'm definitely gonna be doing some exposing, and it's gonna start today. See if I can add this in. So people said that Al Heyman, they couldn't even spell Munguia's name right. That's crazy. A lot newspapers couldn't even spell Munguia's name right. That's wild. Al Heyman plans to stage Canelo versus Jaime Munguia. And this was what, in February they said this? Then they turned around and said Canelo part ways with PBC promoter. And he said that PBC was the best promotional company he's been with. If he would have been with them, his whole career would have been better. And then that also kind of destroys the argument that people been trying to make to me that, oh, Tank Davis ain't doing nothing and he needs to do more and everything else. Tank Davis need to do more, but Canelo don't need to do more. But people just said that Pitbull was one of the best fighters at 140. A lot of people say he was the best fighter at 140 before he lost to Raya. And then they'll turn around and say, well, Tank ain't fought nobody. But you're celebrating Ryan Garcia and Pitbull, though. The most talked about fighters are Pitbull and Ryan Garcia, but for some reason people will say Tank ain't fought nobody. But then Canelo turns around and say, man, PBC, they move the best. So actually what it sounds like with Canelo is PBC is he's saying basically that PBC, they're giving him the fights that he wants right now. And he doesn't have to go through the trouble that Oscar De La Hoya gave him early in his career. And that's why he parted ways with him a long time ago. But when I heard the talks of people saying that the Canelo and Munguia fight wasn't going to happen on PBC earlier this year because they were trying to force the Benavidez fight and everything else, then I heard people turn around and say, well, Al Heyman wants Canelo to actually fight Munguia. But that kind of, and this is newspapers and big reporters that were saying this. So basically they're saying that Al Heyman has more control over Canelo than a guy like Turkey Al-Sheikh does, which makes zero sense. I don't know how a guy like Canelo can actually hop up and say, you know, I'm gonna do what Al Heyman says, but Turkey Al-Sheikh, I'm not gonna listen to him. He doesn't know what he's talking about. But then the fans of Canelo says that Al Heyman is a bad person and he doesn't know what he's talking about. He's not helping boxing. But that's a guy who Canelo likes. So does that, why nobody's criticizing Canelo for praising Al Heyman, but these are the people who don't like Al Heyman and PBC. He says that PBC is the best. I'm just listening to what he's saying. I'm just listening to what he's saying, buddy. So Canelo likes Al Heyman, doesn't like Turkey Al-Sheikh. Well, he didn't say he didn't like Turkey Al-Sheikh, he just don't want to do business with him. So he wants to do business with Al Heyman. Are the fans pro Al Heyman now, or are they still hating Al Heyman? Because, like, I got tired of hearing his name when the Munguia people like, yeah, he wants Canelo to fight Munguia. I've never heard that before. And this is where boxing going right now. It's getting to the point now where Tank can't do the same thing Canelo does. And Tank has fought Pitbull and Ryan Garcia, two fighters that fans love. I mean, the fans who are fans of Canelo Alvarez love Pitbull and Ryan Garcia. But they'll say that Tank Davis hasn't fought anybody. How could you love Ryan Garcia and Pitbull and then say that Tank Davis hasn't fought anybody? Then Canelo said that PBC is moving fighters basically in a good direction, and he wished his career would have been with PBC the whole time. He would have had a better career. It's getting hard to push narratives when the truth come out, man. It really does. The walls are closing in. One thing I will give Canelo credit for is he's honest about a lot of things now. He's getting older, man. He don't care about that. He don't care what people think. He's never really said anything about PBC directly as much as he has now, but the way he's praising them now, it's like he likes Al Heyman and PBC better than he does Turkey Al-Sheikh situation, or maybe even the Eddie Hearn and Golden Boy situation. Feels very comfortable. He likes the promotion they're doing right now. Feels like his name is out there a little bit more. And I'll say they've been doing a good job promoting him over the last I'll say 12 months. Over the last 12 months, Canelo's name has been circulating a lot more, especially in America. I know he's learned English over the last decade or so, but I feel like the promotion they've been giving him is well needed. It's still certain places he hasn't touched yet, so but like he says, you know, it seems like it's like late in the game. If it would have happened earlier, like around the age that Ryan Garcia is, he'll definitely be a bigger name right now than he actually is. But I've been telling people this, like Canelo and Tank, they're kind of moving the same because they got a lot of value in America. You got the top boxers in America that they bring in the cash. So, but it confuses me when the fans get into the business of everything. They try to make it seem like Canelo don't like Al Heyman, which I don't really get into all that promotional stuff. But since they've been talking about it for years, they still talking about Turkey Al-Sheikh right now. So let's get into the Al Heyman and Canelo thing. First, they said in February that Al Heyman wants to make the Munguia and Canelo fight. Then they turn around and say Canelo is parting ways with PBC because they don't want to make the Jaime Munguia fight. Then after that news came out where they said he was leaving PBC, they turned around and said, oh, Al Heyman wants Canelo to fight Munguia. If not, then that fight's not going to happen. No fight. The only fight, they said the only fight that Canelo wants to have is the one with Al Heyman on PBC with Munguia. That was basically what was going on as far as being reported. Then they turned around and said Al Heyman is forcing the Munguia and Canelo fight. Like, I feel like too many people is trying to, and this is where a lot of fans of Tank Davis really are lost. And this is where I step in and I show that I know more. He's getting Tank Davis' opponents get more respect than Canelo's opponents does. Ryan Garcia got dropped, what, 6th round? And he still getting more respect than the Triple G who went 12 rounds. Pitbull went 12 rounds, and he's still getting more respect out here. That just goes to show that a lot of narratives are starting to go away in boxing. It's not going to work no more, man. Those days are over with. Those days are over with. Too many fans of Canelo have been saying that Tank Davis hasn't fought anybody, but they jumping up and down every time Pitbull and Ryan Garcia fight. According to what the fans been saying, Tank Davis has been fighting some of their favorite fighters. So you can't turn around and try to discredit this guy because of certain promotional companies he's on or he's American. Tank doing the same thing Canelo doing, but he's at a younger age than Canelo right now. A lot of guys that Canelo fought, they're not doing pay-per-views with other guys. Just a fact. Callum Smith, he's not doing a pay-per-view. John Ryder's not. Yildirim's not. So I don't understand why people criticize Tank Davis' resume, but then they'll say Pitbull and Ryan Garcia is some of the best fighters out. Bro, you're praising his resume. You're giving his resume. Every time you give Ryan Garcia and Pitbull credit, you're giving Tank Davis credit. He's the one that brought Ryan Garcia and Pitbull to the pay-per-view. So when I hear a lot of Mexican fans say, well, Tank need to do more, that's the same argument we supposed to make for Canelo. Canelo's way, he's supposed to be the face of boxing. So when we focus on Tank Davis, it feels like Tank Davis the face of boxing. I can really make that argument right now because he has all the pressure on him. People are looking for him to deliver. They're not looking for Canelo to deliver big fights right now. They're like, man, he can do whatever he want, man. He done did enough. Okay, so he's retired, semi-retired though. Because when Mayweather was 36, 37, he's still fighting top guys. Had to fight Maidana twice when people said the fight was close. The standards are too high for certain people and it's different for other guys. When is Canelo going to be held to the same standard as everybody else? Or is Tank Davis going to be the person that has the pressure on him? But then we have fans running around celebrating Ryan Garcia and Pitbull. They'll say Tank Davis fought nobody, but I think Ryan Garcia is the top fighter, and I think Pitbull is the top fighter. But Tank ain't fought nobody. You've never heard me say, oh, well, I think Triple G's a top fighter. I think these other guys that Canelo fought are top fighters, but he ain't fought nobody. That's a backwards conversation. And it's not going to last long in boxing. A lot of things is getting exposed. Definitely a lot of things getting exposed. And I'm glad it's getting exposed this way because it's been too much lies going on, bro. Like the way boxing is right now, it's a popularity contest. It's not gonna last. It's definitely not gonna last. I promise it's not gonna last. It's not gonna last. Cause the way I'm putting out these videos, I'm going full blast on a lot of things. It's definitely not gonna last. I think something told me this week, like, okay. Like, as far as people's opinions about boxing and everything else, it don't matter as far as anything else no more. I've seen too much hypocrisy in boxing. It's got to get exposed immediately. Has to get exposed. It has to. There's too many fans celebrating guys, opponents that they don't like. They don't like Crawford. Don't think he's fought anybody. But then they'll say, well, Madrimov is this, and this. Or I don't like Tank. He doesn't do enough. He's not the face of boxing. But Pitbull and Ryan Garcia, yeah, I like those guys. Those top fighters. Who you think brought those guys to the table? Nobody was too high on Ryan Garcia after he fought Luke Campbell. PBC was never in the driver's seat for Canelo all these years. Now he's in the driver's seat in his most important years of his career, his last prime years, and they're basically carrying him right now. And to be honest with you, even though these aren't the fights that we want to see, some of these fights Canelo is having on PBC is still more entertaining than the fights he's had in the past on the zone. And that's a fact. A lot of those fights on the zone was not replay worthy. They just weren't. From what I've seen, I don't think they was worthy of any playbacks. Because the top fights that people like to watch are like Caleb Plant, Charlo, Triple G, mostly the first one before the zone. Yeah, those type of fights. So I don't like the John Ryder fight doesn't have a lot of replay. A lot of other fights don't either, but that's a whole nother story. But yeah, those are big fights that people are definitely looking towards that they don't want to pay attention to. But definitely, I'm gonna get this news out, man. When you're the only one pushing certain news out, it gets difficult because you have a million people saying things that kind of go against the narrative that's trying to get pushed. But everything got to get exposed at some time, man. It's almost to the point now where I can't even, like, as an American fan, I can't even ask certain guys to fight better competition because Pitbull is getting celebrated as a top fighter and Ryan Garcia is getting celebrated as a top fighter. So how would I tell Tank to fight a top fighter when people are celebrating his opponents as top fighters? He's turning guys into stars right now. Tank Davis literally is turning fighters into stars after they lose. We have people running around celebrating Rolly right now. And that's the guy who Tank Davis um, walked all over in the ring. He had no chance against him. So now everything that fans of Canelo been saying over the years, everything fans been saying over the years, hey, starting to come back and haunt him. Starting to come back and haunt him. Because everything Canelo's doing right now is exactly the way they're going about with Tank. Same thing they doing for that. They doing for Tank. So a lot of fans that don't like the way Tank moves, hey, you're gonna have to change that because you got to change it. You don't have to. But I knew when people said Al Heyman is forcing Canelo to fight Munguia. He forcing Canelo to fight Munguia, Al Heyman. So he got more power than Turkey Al-Sheikh does? Wow. That's shocking. That's shocking to me. It really is. It's very shocking. That's very shocking to me, man. I think Al Heyman got these guys in a chokehold right now. Because if he's not putting together fights in America, I mean, the only fights you're gonna be able to watch is what the one Shakur had on Top Rank recently. Uh, what's the last big fight they had on Top Rank that everybody was talking about for a long time? The Haney and Lomachenko fight. That was the last real big fight we actually had on Top Rank. So everything else, it's been good fights, but what people would consider to be blockbuster mega fights, probably that fight. But why would PBC? Why would Canelo praise PBC and his fans don't like PBC? That's kind of where And then Tank Davis, he's been moving pretty well with PBC because people love the opponents he fights, Pitbull, Ryan Garcia. So it makes a lot of sense for Canelo Alvarez to say, PBC, I would have had a better career with them, probably because he see how the fans gravitate towards Tank Davis and the opponents he fights. I think he probably thinking that the matchmaking is a little better over at PBC than he's had at Golden Boy. And I kind of got to agree with that because most of the opponents that people bring up that Canelo's fought is like PBC guys, Caleb Plant, um, Charlo, different things like that. But yeah, I gotta get back to real boxing talk the way I like to do things, man. I don't gotta have people in my chat going in and out talking about nothing. You know what I'm saying? That's just real talk. Because I don't really get entertained by boxing news no more. I be knowing what these guys be saying and what they be doing. It ain't really entertaining no more. Because a lot of it's full of lies and a lot of narratives. And then when you start to expose it, you start to realize, oh, these people fake. Oh, they know what's going on. They just don't want nobody to expose it. But they want to expose everybody else in boxing. Call people weight bullies and this guy ain't got no chin and this guy's that. He's fighting bums. Then they did the whole promotional thing about PBC over the years. Oh, I don't like PBC and this and this. And then Canelo turns around and says he does like PBC. And his fans say nothing. Why don't the fans criticize Canelo for not liking PBC? I mean, for liking PBC, for feeling like they could give him a better career. What is the issue with that? Did they think that he didn't like PBC or what? Did people think Canelo didn't like PBC because why? He wasn't signed over there? This should be headline news all over the place. Canelo said his career would have been better with PBC, so he basically wants to do the same thing Tank Davis is doing. And nobody seems to think that that's a big deal. And people they talking about real boxing news out there. Where? Where at? Please let me know who is. Cause I've been looking for who's talking about boxing right now that is actually saying these things about what Canelo is talking about. You got guys that say they've been trashing PBC for years. Now they doing partnerships. Man, it's wild out here, man. It is so wild. It is so wild. I'm so glad Canelo said what he said, bro. People would never be able to live that down. They do not like that he said this. I can tell they didn't like this. I definitely can tell they didn't like when Canelo said that. This guy said he would have had a better career. So most people feel like Canelo's career is the best it can be right now. He's saying no, it's not. He's saying no, it's not. It would have been better with PBC. I like what Tank Davis is doing. Oh, so this is what people saying. This is Canelo fans. People saying, yeah, I would have been better with PBC back then. People said, did PBC exist at that time? He's saying that because he doesn't like Oscar. What? Ah, that's funny. Hey, listen to this. Listen to this. Somebody said he's saying that because he doesn't like Oscar, but they would have fed him to the Lions right away. Oscar had him on a cherry picking diet. How did Oscar have him on a cherry picking diet when probably wouldn't have had faced Mosley, Cotto, Kirkland, or Khan? Golden Boy had a plan laid out to keep elevating his career, whether he admits it or not. This dude said Mosley, Cotto, and Kirkland was cherry picks from Golden Boy. What? Canelo never fights Triple G if he was with PBC. Who cares? What are we talking about? Why does everybody act like Canelo needed Triple G? Man, these guys are idiots, man. Telling you. They're not getting smarter when it comes to boxing news, man. They're just not. Just won't. Man, I gotta do some exposing this year when it comes to boxing. Oh, I gotta do some exposing. I gotta do some exposing. I definitely gotta do some exposing on that, man. The PBC is wow. Canelo fans don't like PBC, but he's praising them. And people say he doing that because he don't like Oscar. But then say Oscar was making him cherry pick. How was fighting Kirkland, uh, Cotto, and Mosley cherry picking? And these are the guys who know boxing out here? No, they don't. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. PBC exposing these clowns, man. Everybody want to push narratives about promoters. People still talking about Turkey on the sheet. So now they're saying Turkey on the sheet bad and Al Heyman good now? Man, make up y'all mind out here. They can't make up their mind. They don't know if Turkey Al Sheik is bad or if he's good. Can't make up their mind anymore, bro. That's crazy. So basically everybody besides I don't understand that. I'm confused. Oh, what's going on, man? What's going on? Nah, you said Trap? Nah, I ain't seen Trap. I don't watch black hood movies like that, to be honest with you. But I seen the title though. Shoot, I lived in the trap, bro. I'm from Atlanta. We created the trap. The trap is my life. I'm in the hood now. What going on, man? Nah, I ain't seen that movie Trap. Nah, I don't be watching hood movies no more though. I done seen them all. Once you seen one, you done seen them all, bro. That's like somebody making a movie about Australia or Aussie, you know what I'm saying? To be, you know. But nah, I ain't never seen it. I've heard about it. I know people who was in the movie though. Yeah, I know people who was actually in the movie. Yeah, but yeah, what's going on, Blitz? You doing all right, bro? Oh, you must be talking about another trap movie. Hold on, what movie you talking about? Trap? You talking about this horror movie? Oh, you talking about another movie? Oh, you talking about this? Oh, I see what movie you talking about. You talking about the horror movie with the guy named Butcher? You talking about with the butcher in it? Oh yeah, 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 yeah. No, I ain't seen that movie. It's a new movie that just came out. How good is this movie is? I'm looking at it now. Dang, that movie just came out. It already made 47 million. Wow. I gotta check this out. Oh, they got Josh Hartnett in there, the guy from the faculty. Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm gonna watch that. That's the guy from the faculty that's in there. Yeah, I'm gonna watch that. Let me write this down real quick. The Trap. I thought you were talking about that hood movie, The Trap. Yeah, let me write that down. Yeah, I'm just chilling, man. Just reporting some news. Uh, that was on my mind. This is like old news. I was thinking about this like 2 or 3 weeks ago. Some of this stuff, if you see the news I post up, it's like from a month ago, but I be just now reporting this stuff. Sometimes I forget about a lot of news. I seen that Tim Zoo finna fight in like a month. But yeah, I was on here talking about bro, so what's going on right now in America is uh a lot of people are looking at Canelo Alvarez and they're saying to themselves that he doesn't need to do business with Turkey Al-Sheikh, which means I mean he can do business with whoever he wants to. Oh yeah, they all do, bro. They all worship them though. You know how that goes. They all worship them. But he was talking about Turkey Al-Sheikh not wanting to fight with him, and he was saying that PBC was a better company with Al Heyman, and they would have made his career better. And a lot of fans of Canelo is just I don't know, they're confusing me because they celebrate Pitbull and Ryan Garcia, two guys who Tank Davis fought, and they feel like those guys are top fighters, but then they'll turn around and say Tank Davis ain't fought nobody. I don't know if they're trying to repeat the same thing that a lot of us Americans say, because in America we say that, but we're looking for certain types of styles that Tank Davis we want to see Tank Davis fight. Because a lot of people say Shakur Stevens is boring, and he's boring, and I don't like to watch him fight. But then they want to see him fight Tank Davis though. So it's like they're trying to use double entendres, and it doesn't work because they're kind of destroying their own argument. Why do you want to pay $100 to watch a guy who's boring fight Tank Davis? And if you think he's just gonna run, why do you want to see a guy fight Tank Davis who's just gonna run? I wouldn't pay $100 to see a guy just run around the ring. Yeah, his fans are worse, bro. Canelo's fans are worse though. Like the way Canelo does the same thing that Tank does, but they'll try to separate the two. Like, well, Al Heyman said Canelo needs to fight Munguia. Like the media was trying to push that narrative a couple months ago. See, this is what they had posted on the newspaper. They said Al Heyman plans to stage Canelo Alvarez versus Jaime Munguia. So Blitz, my thing is, how can Al Heyman tell Canelo what to do, but Turkey Al-Sheikh, he got more money than Al Heyman, and he can't tell Canelo what to do? I thought Canelo was talking about the money. Yeah, yeah, the hypocrisy is glaring, bro. It's glaring. It is. And a lot of YouTubers, they're kneeling down. They're kneeling down and, they got Canelo got these guys at his feet, man. Yeah, they say Tank Davis ain't fought nobody, then they say Ryan Garcia and Isaac Cruz is some of the top fighters in the game, and Ryan Garcia should fight this guy and that guy. Then I'm like, bro, how could y'all say Tank Davis ain't fought nobody? But then y'all say Isaac Cruz and Pitbull. And this is just unbiased. Tank Davis the only guy who can actually have people lose to him and they become superstars or stars. They turned Rolly Romero into a star after he lost to Tank. Um, they turned Isaac Cruz into a star after he lost to Tank. Ryan Garcia. It's probably Frank Martin gonna be another guy they want to see still fight. So Canelo, when he fights guys, he don't turn them into stars. Nobody wants to see John Ryder on pay-per-view. Yildirim. That's why Canelo's saying I like my career better with PBC because the guys they put me up against, those are guys that's like similar to what Tank Davis is getting. Yeah, it is. Bro, I'm gonna tell you right now, too, it's a lot of boxing websites and a lot of boxing channels that host boxing fights that I'm really thinking about just not even entertaining. It's like they used the fans, the true boxing fans, to get their following. And then as soon as they get their following, they sit up here and start doing anti-American stuff in America. Anti-American stuff in America. Yeah, it's pathetic, man. It really is. It really we've had Mexican fighters who's done way more than what Canelo does and didn't get this type of respect. Way more. Marquez, all kind of guys. Guys that jumped in the ring with Pacquiao, Floyd, guys that were smaller guys. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He became a superstar after losing to Floyd Mayweather and losing to Bivol and never rematching those guys. And the fans so pathetic. The only guy they asked Floyd to rematch was Maidana. And Floyd was like, "Are you kidding? Of course I would rematch that guy." You said, "What do I think about Canelo Edgar Berlanga fight?" Man, I reported that fight last year, bro. I got a video right now I can post. I said something about that fight 9 months ago. I think people be thinking I'm lying about boxing. That's why I kind of just post my videos and I just keep it pushing, to be honest with you. I think I'm gonna have to be on YouTube 10 years before people think I'm not lying about stuff. I think that's what's gonna happen. I'm gonna have to be on YouTube 10 years before people say, man, he has 10 years worth of videos where he's not lying. I don't think 2,000 videos telling people the truth is gonna be enough on YouTube. If anybody starts a YouTube channel, if the people don't like the type of fighters you like, you're gonna need at least 10 years to post videos to actually get credibility on YouTube. And then they go to other people's channels complaining about clickbait. I don't have clickbait on my channels. Yeah, we know how that goes, bro. We know how that goes. But they always want somebody to fight a black fighter, though. I don't have no problem with people loving Mexican fighters. I like Mexican boxing too. Mexican boxing is some of my favorite. But if you're complaining about Shakur Stevenson and how black fighters fight, just don't fight those black guys. I have no problem not fighting those black guys. Yeah, bro. Even hey Blitz, even when I get them wrong, bro. Even when I get the fights wrong, this is why I love doing prediction fights. That's why I don't stop doing them. Even when I get the pick wrong, I will either do a video before the fight, like I did with the Pitbull and Rayo fight last week. I did a whole live before the fight started, talking about how Rayo will win. So even if I do a prediction video like I picked Pitbull in the prediction video, but I turned around and switched to Rayo before the fight. And I gave a good reason and it was on point. Yeah, I'll be on point with it. But I gotta stay humble though. You know what I'm saying? I can't be out here acting like I just know everything because I really don't. I gotta still listen to you guys. Y'all know a lot of things I don't. But yeah, man, I only been on here a year, but yeah, I appreciate everybody who hits the like button, views my content, follows. I appreciate all that. Yeah, I absolutely do. But but yeah, you gotta be on here like 10 years, bro. They always come up with certain things they don't like about your channel or what you do, but these other channels are just pushing narratives. But I'm gonna tell you right now though, Blitz, I just put a video out today. I'm gonna show you the title of the video real quick. They ain't gonna like this video. Let me go ahead and get this for you, Blitz, real quick. I'm gonna show you. I don't think you've seen it yet. I ain't seen you in a minute too, man. This around the time you be up, I'm gonna start going live. This the time you be up. Man, you should have clicked on my video. You should have clicked on the live, bro. Man, you should have. You should have clicked on the live, bro. Man, you should have clicked on the live. But look at this. What I had. I got a video that just came out today, and this is what this video is about. Look at this right here. Okay, I'm gonna start going live in the morning, bro. Okay. What time is it over there right now? Yeah, but look at this though. They say Crawford is too small for Canelo, right? But look at this right here. Oh, it's 11 p.m. Okay. It's 9 a.m. right now for me. Yeah, it's 9 a.m. Yeah, this time 9 a. Yeah, it's 9 a.m. right now. Oh, so it's nighttime for you. Okay. All right, that makes sense. Oh, so when I go live in the middle of the day, that's when you're around the time you're up. So okay, that makes sense. Man, I don't even know. I don't even know, bro. I haven't even thought about it. I haven't even thought about it yet. I don't even know. Oh yeah, of course, bro. I'm related to Michael Jackson, bro. Michael Jackson is actually my cousin, and I'm not exaggerating. That's why I said when you was talking about what skin color I was, Michael Jackson's actually my cousin. Like him and my mom is like first cousins, second cousins. I think first cousins. Yeah, I'm related to Michael Jackson actually. Um, Celebrities I met in person, all of them you could think of: Chris Brown, uh, Michael B. Jordan, the guys from Black Panther. Uh, Most of the people from Black Panther, cause I got family members that's like in every industry, like movies. Like I know I got parents that does movies. Um, my sister was in music industry, so most of the people who do music. Um, I met a lot of them. Trying to think of the ones you would actually know, like Chris Brown. A lot of singers, rappers, movie stars. Um, yeah, I think you know who Chris Brown is, and I'm related to Michael Jackson, so most of those people I've already seen or met before. Janet Jackson, that's his sister. So, but the other day, I didn't know this. She was saying that we were related to Samuel L. Jackson, and I always thought about that. Samuel L. Jackson is actually related to us too. So I'm related to Samuel L. Jackson. I don't know if you heard the lady who makes the song "Fast Car." Forgot her name. She's cousins too. You said what was it like meeting Chris Brown? Oh, it was cool, man. Chris Brown's one of the coolest guys I ever met in my life, bro. Ever. He's one of the coolest guys ever. Hung out with him like the whole day. Brandon T. Jackson, the guy from Roll Bounce. He was in Percy Jackson, the black guy from the Percy Jackson movies. I hung out with him the whole day. I actually hung out with him and Chris Brown the same day through my sister. But yeah, Chris Brown's one of the coolest guys ever, bro. I'm talking about ever. He's one of those guys, like, if you're in the room, he'll come around and be like, "What's going on? What's up? What's up?" He'll say, "What's up?" to everybody. Not a rude guy. He's very nice. Yeah, he's a very nice guy. I met him when he had like one tattoo on his arm, man. See how many tattoos he got now? Yeah, he's a very cool guy. He was real. Oh, you was laughing at the thing I got up here? Yeah, bro. Look at this. I got a video about it out right now. You know, a lot of people ain't gonna like it, but I'm tired of hearing people say weight bully and stuff like that. But yeah, man, Tank has fought a how are you able to meet all these aliens? No, bro, I'm black. A lot of people aren't from America, bro. A lot of people that's in America, they're not actually from America. Like a lot of people aren't really from America. It's a lot of people that look like they're black in America, but a lot of people are not from America. So if you're from America, you're gonna be related to most of these celebrities, or you're gonna know people who know them, and that's how it goes. That's why a lot of people who are not from America, when they come here, they're not able to rub shoulders with certain people. But yeah, bro, my brother has met Al. Even my brother has. Well, I ain't gonna say how he knows, but my brother has talked to guys like Al Heyman and everything, bro. My brother has talked to Al Heyman. My brother didn't even know who Al Heyman was until I told him. Like a lot of these guys in boxing, they have never even talked to Al Heyman before. So my brother, he knows Al Heyman and everything. But when you're from America, you know how like it is, bro. I'm an Aboriginal like you is. You know how you're an Aboriginal in Australia. I'm an Aboriginal in America. It's not a lot of Aboriginals over here. You know what I'm saying? It's not a lot of us actually over here that's from America. That's why a lot of people try to act like they're American. They're like, yeah, I'm black too. Yeah, you're black, but you're not from America though. That's why a lot of people are actually saying like, is this person from America or not? But yeah, I don't want to give out too much information that people will know who I am. But yeah, it's just that like if I was in Australia and you know, I don't know, it just happens. It's not a big deal. It means celebrities, bro. They're not really celebrities to us because just regular Aboriginal people. Like in Australia, if you ran across a guy who's Aboriginal, it wouldn't be a big deal to you. But a lot of people in Australia, you have yeah, yeah, like super original. Yeah, I'm like yeah, we're the originals, bro. Like you ever seen? I'm gonna give you an example real quick. You ever seen Michael Jackson's family? Like a lot of those guys don't have gray hair, and they're like almost 100. Well, they're like 60, 70 years old with no gray hair. And a lot of people think they dye their hair and everything. No, their hair just don't go gray. So a lot of people in our family, their hair don't go gray. So if you have gray hair and you're in our family, probably not foundational Black American. Yeah, I got an uncle. He's like 70. He got black hair. His hair is jet black. So yeah, it's probably like that in Australia as well. Yeah. My mom used to live close to Martin Luther King's wife. So yeah. Yeah, it gets deep. Yeah, it's not a big deal. They're just regular people. Yeah, it's not a big deal. Now, I've never met an Aboriginal person like you, so meeting somebody like you would probably be a bigger deal than meeting like a celebrity, if you understand what I'm saying. I've never met a person like as Aboriginal. So I would be more excited to meet somebody like that from Australia than actually meeting a celebrity, if you understand what I mean. I used to watch those Thailand movies. And they used to always go to like Australia. I used to be like, man, they got black guys in Australia. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, I got uncles, man. They're like 70 years old with no gray hair. Yeah, no gray hair. My grandfather, he had hair down his back when he was 100 years old. I'm talking about he didn't lose any hair. He had hair all the way down his back when he was 100 years old. Like just 2 braids, and his hair used to come all the way down to his stomach. That's how we can kind of tell if people are really from America or not, though. If you don't really meet those kind of criteria, we can kind of tell. That's why people like, oh, they have a lot of African people that try to pass off as, um, nah. Come to find out, they say he's just smoked and drunk a lot. He drunk a lot of alcohol and smoked a lot of weed, from what I've heard. And he liked to play the guitar, and it wasn't more so that he ate healthy. He just didn't eat the stuff that they had in the grocery stores. Like he would like eat pigs and stuff like that, but he would just eat animals and pigs. And yeah, my grandfather actually smoked and drank his whole life and lived till he was 100 years old. 100, actually almost 110. Still smoking drunk all his life, bro. Smoked weed, drunk alcohol. Yeah. Yeah, we're pretty smart over here. That's why we know the history of America. You got people who come to America and try to tell us our history of America. Like, you got people that say, you're from Africa. You used to be a slave. No, I'm not, bro. I've been in America thousands of years. I remember when I used to go to school, because they didn't call us black when I first started going to school. So when we first started going to school, they started calling people black. I didn't know what to put down on my little sheet when I was going to school, so I used to just put whatever, because we didn't have a name for it. But yeah, meet celebrities is pretty cool. But I'd rather meet somebody who's like an Aboriginal from Australia, something like that, because you already know. I know what type of things they go through. So those like the only people that kind of can relate to me. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, that's why I be knowing what you're talking about. But I be trying to tell you like, hey. But yeah, I definitely appreciate what you be saying a lot of times, because I be feeling the same way. I just do it through boxing now. As far as that's the only change I can make, as far as reporting the news the right way. Because if I don't, man, it's gonna be other people out here saying some crap, man. I don't know why they're using the sport of boxing. You been working on that jab too? You said, is it the hairline? No, a lot of Africans have good hairlines. It's more so the jawbones, their body structure, um, like lower body. To be honest with you, like a lot of guys is like Black Americans. They got like skinny ankles, stuff like that. Just being real, got skinny ankles. Um, the color a person's foot is. A lot of times, like, and then like the inside of their hands. Sometimes people have dark lines on the inside of their hand. Um, a lot of times they can't get hair on their body. See, we're from a cold climate. It still gets cold in America, so a lot of us still get hair on our body, on our chest, on our arms, because of the cold weather. We had to adapt to being in America. Like over time, you'll see a lot more. But yeah, you can tell a lot of Africans can't grow hair on their body, so that's one sign. Jawbones, cheekbones, like the cheeks are very high, like how Michael Jackson looks. You know how Michael Jackson looks different than most people who's black. So kind of like that. Most people that kind of can look like one of his family members. That's how you can kind of tell. You understand what I'm saying? Because most people have like big legs, and some people, like even their women have like big legs sometimes, or big calf muscles. So that's really how you can tell, to be honest with you. Just being honest. We got skinny ankles over here. Like I got a cousin who I have a cousin, he's dark skinned. I mean his dad is dark skinned and his mom is like light, but her mom is dark skinned and his dad is dark skinned. And he still looks like he's Chinese though. So like I still look at my like in my family, we have like my grandparents are both lighter people. They're not like real dark, but they have dark kids. Like they have kids of every color. They have kids that look like they're almost white. I have a cousin who has two dark parents and he's white, but he's not albino though. He's just white. Like doesn't even look like an albino. He looks like a straight white guy. But you could tell he's black because his bone structure. He looks like Michael Jackson almost if he was white, but he's a white guy. He has a kid that's white, and then he has another kid that's just black. So I have two cousins that's white, but all their parents are black. Nobody's half white or nothing. Because black people can have white kids too. So yeah, I have a lot of cousins that are white, but their parents are black and the other parents are black. My grandfather has kids that are like real dark. Yeah, it is. It is, bro. It is. It's very interesting. Even though that's my cousin and he's like 40 and his son is like 20, I still look at them like, bro, I can't believe you guys are white. But they don't look white though. Don't talk white. They don't look albino or nothing. I'm gonna get a picture one day and try to show you. When you see it, you're gonna be like, what? He has blonde hair and everything, but him and his brother look exactly alike because him and his brother had the same mom and dad. But his brother was just black and he's just a white guy. You said, have I ever took a DNA test before? No, I haven't took one of those. I haven't taken one of those. A lot of those aren't accurate, but a lot of those aren't really accurate, but a lot of them are, but not too many are accurate, but I can kind of tell what I'm already mixed with. As far as I know, I don't have any people in my family that's like not from America, so as far as I know. But yeah, that's the real secret though. A lot of people aren't from here who are actually black though. It's the same thing as like the Aboriginal thing, so that's why I'd be like, yeah, only you'll know what I'm talking about. But your parents was so you definitely could tell what your parents were and everything else. So you know better than anybody else. You been working on that jab though? I was gonna ask you about that jab, man. I'm trying to save up so I can go out there and watch your first fight, man. You gonna be ready in about a year or two? I'm trying to come to Australia and see your first fight, man. Yeah, but the PBC is definitely leading the way as far as for Tank Davis and Canelo right now. And my thing is, what's funny is PBC are putting all the fights on for Canelo and Tank Davis right now, but people aren't giving any kind of credit to PBC or Turkey Al Sheikh. So who do we want to run boxing right now? To be honest with you, a lot of people think that Canelo and Berlanga fight is like just a little sparring match, to be honest with you. Just something that can happen. Okay, bet. That's good to hear. Okay. You say you trying to work on that stamina. You ever did those? You ever did those exercises where you jump in the air and try to touch the ceiling, and then you jump down and get in the like get in the push up position, then you jump back up and you jump in the air, and then you get back down in the push up position, then you jump back up in the air and try to, you know what I'm saying? They call up downs. You ever tried those? Those will get your stamina going. Up downs, kind of like what Bitterbill was doing. If you go to my prediction video for Bitterbill and Bibble, yeah, get those up downs going. Yeah, get those up downs going, man. Yeah, we're gonna try to save up, see if we can get you a heavy bag. Yeah, burpees, man. Ooh, yeah. Man, those are the worst. Bro, you do 100 of those, man. You're in there. Yeah, burpees is no joke. They are no joke. Yeah, that'll definitely be a good exercise for you. Yeah, you should be ready in half a year. I'm telling you, if you get your stamina good, a lot of those guys end up losing out there. You can beat a lot of those guys with just a jab and some stamina. All you need is that jab. That right hand, or if you left hand, it's gonna come. But you get that jab going, you're gonna be all right. I think that's what got Lucas Miller so far. He had that jab, and his stamina was good. And then over time, he's got better with the right hand, but that'll be a better situation. Yeah, I think burpees are terrible though. What time do you usually go to bed? Usually go to bed around 12, 1 o'clock. Can't believe it's that late over there. No wonder those fights come on so late. Man, it is so hard to stay up for an Australia fight. Oh, okay. Yeah, me too. I'm around that time as well. Yeah, yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah, we gotta get you a heavy bag, man, or a speed bag, one of those. Yeah, mine is too. Bro, you're not the only one, trust me. It gotta be something in the air, you know what I'm saying? The sleep schedule is just off right now. Mine is it might be that time of the year where the weather's kind of changing. It's still wintertime over there? Or wintertime probably ending right now? Yeah, it's probably they look, they got some new scary movies coming out. One of them called Night Swim. Oh, they got some new scary movies coming out. Lisa Frankenstein, Imaginary, First Omen, The Quiet Place, Day One, Speak No Evil. That's gonna come out next year. Alien. Oh yeah, I'm going to see that Beetlejuice movie. That don't come out till next year though. Wow. That come out this year or next year? Oh yeah, winter ending in 2 weeks. Okay. That's gonna be good then. Yeah, I have a friend that visits Australia. She said she loves it. She definitely loves it. I don't think she knows about the spiders yet, but she definitely loves Australia. We starting to get a spider issue over here as well, man. Yeah, I have. You ever saw that movie Candyman? I know it's an old movie. You ever saw that movie? Man, that movie was scary. I always wanted to meet that guy from Candyman. He's pretty scary. I seen him in a the dude was so scary in that movie that I seen him in another movie and I was like, whoa, this dude's still scary, man. I don't know if you ever seen Candyman, but check that movie out. That is you ever heard of that movie? Gotta be one of the scariest ones I've seen. Yeah, that guy from Candyman was pretty scary. I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, that's a good movie. You said anxiety? I don't know. I've been getting anxiety issues as well, but usually I try to and OCD. Yeah, yeah. Usually, when I suffer from things like that, I try to think about other things that could be worse, and then I also think about the things that are actually good. And then you can't control everything. I just start to realize the only thing you can control is yourself. Any outside distractions or anybody else, you can't really control those. So that's how you really deal with the anxiety and everything. When you realize that the only thing you can control is yourself and whatever you have going on. I think anxiety comes from worrying so much. So when you think of the good things that's actually going on in the positive, I think the anxiety will actually go away. Oh, you couldn't finish it? See, that dude is scary, man. It's got to be one of the scariest movies I've ever seen. I'm talking about has to be. It got to be top 5. I know the other movie was scary too, The Grudge. I know it's another. It was called something else over there in Asia, but yeah, The Grudge that was pretty scary too. Those two movies, Candyman, The Grudge. Those were two where I was like, whoa, because stuff like that does happen. It's basically just a ghost, but yeah, those are scary movies. I can't believe you couldn't finish Candyman. Oh, that's crazy. You probably stopped at the part that everybody stops at. Yeah, that Candyman movie was insane, man. And then the crazy part is when we had our family reunion when I was a kid, we went to Gary, Indiana, and it's close to Chicago where they had Candyman from, and it kind of looked similar. Man, I thought we was actually in the same place. Yeah, that movie was scary, bro. How you think that Canelo fight gonna go between Berlanga though? You think he's actually gonna go for the knockout? I think Canelo could possibly get a knockout in that fight. I think Berlanga gonna try to engage more because during that fight with during the fight with Munguia, Munguia was trying to go for a knockout early in that fight against Canelo. But after a while, he was kind of like, "No, I'm just gonna box with him." Kind of like what Virgil Ortiz did against Boychik. He was trying to go for a knockout early, then he realized I'm just gonna box with him, trying to force the knockout too much. I think that's gonna cause a lot of problems for Berlanga because he gonna try to go for the knockout. He only knows one speed, and I don't know if he's a better boxer than Munguia is. I think Munguia has a solid jab right now. I don't know if Berlanga's jab is as solid as Munguia's is. So I think around the time that Munguia got knocked down, I don't know if Berlanga will be able to keep Canelo off of him. Yeah, Berlanga does have the power to KO Canelo. Canelo makes a mistake and he lets Berlanga get a clean shot. Yeah, he could definitely get knocked out. But I just think Canelo's too smart for. He has a chin too. You know, Canelo definitely has a chin. He's taking some shots in his life. Taking the best punches from Triple G, Bivol. He's taking some huge punches over his career. You said 2,000 on Canelo? Yeah, that would be. I'll be surprised if it goes 12 rounds. If it goes 12 rounds, I don't want to sit here and say this, but Canelo probably won't. He probably not the same fighter he used to be, because the John Ryder fight, he was hurt. It is hard to KO Charlo. I knew he wasn't gonna KO Charlo. Munguia, I knew it was possible, but I knew that was gonna be hard too. But with Berlanga, I'm not saying he's a guaranteed knockout, but if you're a guy like Canelo, that's a good style matchup. So definitely should end in a knockout. But yeah, I don't think Berlanga gonna have a chance to knock Canelo out. I think Canelo gonna play it safe. Berlanga gets tired too. He got to show that he has a gas tank, and he's able to fight at the same speed for 12 rounds. That's the thing that gets a lot of fighters confused with Canelo. They think that Canelo slows down after the 6th round. He actually speeds up. You said you think he could be the first to hurt Canelo? If he goes to the body, he'll have a chance. He has a reach advantage. If he can go to the body, he can definitely have a chance. I don't think a lot of people test Canelo's body like that. Yeah, I don't think he'll go to sleep. I think he will be able to. He'll get dropped. It'll kind of be like, I can see it being a situation where it could be flash knockdowns and not a knockdown where he's just out of it. But he's going to be hurting if he try to go 12 rounds. It's going to be a hard 12 rounds if he try to go all the way. Because, you know, Charlo had a difficult time those last few rounds with Canelo. Canelo tried to go for the knockout. And yeah, it was very tough on Charlo those last 2 or 3 rounds. Because, you know, he took that knee. I forgot what round he took a knee in. But it was almost as if he, you know, when the guy takes a knee and he's kind of sitting there waiting for the referee to count down, that means that he's taking a beating. So don't know if Berlanga could take a beating like that. He has to be a little more active than these last 2 guys have been. I think it would have been better off for Berlanga to actually fight a guy like Munguia first. I don't know if the guy he fought last, McQuarrie, I don't know if he could be able to. But Quigley, he was a good fight for Berlanga. Like the last 2 opponents he had, they were decent fights. Would have liked to see him fight a little bit more. Probably 3 or 4 times the last couple of years, but I don't know if 2 fights in the last 12 months. I don't know if that's enough to prepare him for Canelo. But the guys he fought was pretty good. Quigley and McQuarrie, pretty good. Still would consider those guys undersized a little bit. Yeah, Jamel, he could have did more. He could have did more because after he got knocked down, Charlo started fighting like a different person. He did not want to get knocked out. He even said it after the fight, like, I didn't get knocked out though. Yeah, you can't really celebrate that, bro. A lot of people felt like you could have let your hands fly a little bit more. Oh, he got knocked down in the 7th round. Yeah, I felt like Charlo could have did a lot more in that fight. If he would have fought the first 10 rounds like he did the last 3 rounds, he would have had a chance, or he would have had a lot more respect from the fans, because he did fight hard at the end. He wasn't in there just taking shots. He was obviously fighting hard. It was a tough fight. He moved up 2 weight classes, but I think Charlo's a very good fighter. You know what I'm saying? I didn't want to overlook what he was doing, but I just felt like that one round he gave a lot in that one round. I think it was like the 11th round, And I was like, man, you should have fought the whole fight like that. I just don't know if Berlanga got enough to actually keep Canelo off of him. He does have enough power, but yeah, I just don't know. I'm trying to figure out what round it was that Charlo had Canelo. I think it might have been the 11th round, even though he didn't win it. It was pretty even round in that round. They said conspiracy theories. No, you ain't conspiracy theories. No, we know how the game go. Nah, not everything. Not everything. Not everything. I feel like he still had a lot more to give in that fight. I know he probably feels the same way. He probably feels like, man, I could have did way more against Canelo. I've seen it too. When he turned it up that 11th round, I'm like, bro, you could have did this the whole fight. But I think those guys are so worried about the knockout. Caleb Plant did a good job too. Caleb Plant did a good job too. Caleb Plant did an excellent job too. I think a mistake the guys make though, they don't go to the body enough on Canelo. They do not go to the body. Going upstairs against Canelo is not the recipe for a victory. It's not a recipe. That's something that Triple G already tried. And I feel like Triple G could have went to the body even more against Canelo too. A lot of people are not fans of going to the body. That's why a lot of these young fighters, they're a lot more advanced than the last generation because those guys are enamored with the knockouts and going upstairs on guys. What's up, PD? What's going on, man? Oh, happy Friday, man. Glad to see you up in here, man. Great Friday. I hope everybody have a good Friday today. I know Blitz is about to be Saturday for you, so. Matter of fact, it's going to be Saturday in what, 15 minutes for you? I don't know who that is. Let me look her up real quick. Who is that? That's M. Night Shyamalan's that's M. Night Shyamalan's daughter? Oh, that's his daughter. Oh, she looks like Maya. Hey, look up the singer Maya. She looks like Maya. It's a singer called Maya. Look up her. That's M. Night Shyamalan's daughter. She looks just like Maya from the singer. Yeah, look her up. She looks just like Maya, the singer. I think Maya looks better than her though. Check out Maya. You'll like her better than Shalaka. Yeah, you'll like her better. Yeah, Maya looks way better. And Maya's like 45 or something like that. Yeah, I gotta watch that movie though. I didn't know that movie came out. I went and seen that movie, The Village, that M. Night Shyamalan did. Yeah, shout out to PD, man. Yeah, we was on here talking about just the Canelo news and everything else. It's what surprises me about this Canelo news is, man, it's a big deal. Like these boxers, I'm gonna tell y'all something too. I want y'all to watch out for this. Canelo and Tank, they always say some big news, but fans, I don't know if fans don't believe them or they just don't want to talk about it. But it seems like every time Canelo and Tank Davis says something, nobody wants to talk about it. Every time. Oh, okay, appreciate that, dog. Already, I know how I feel to clean on Friday. You know what I'm saying? Get the house right, get the nice smell in the air. Yeah, appreciate that, man. Yeah, I'm gonna stay on a little longer, man. Since y'all checking in, I don't got nothing else to do. But it seems like every time Canelo and Tank say something, fans do not care. It's like, bro, how can I take these guys serious as the face of boxing? and y'all don't care about nothing they say. It's like every time Devin Haney says something, people just make 50 videos about it. Or these other young fighters like Benavidez, they'll make 50 videos about it. Even when Benavidez's dad says something, it's like headline news. But as soon as like Canelo says, man, I think Al Heyman and PBC are better for my career, then people are like, oh, let's not talk about that. What? Why would we not talk about Canelo saying that Al Heyman and PBC are? And guess what people said today? People said that Canelo cherry picked Mosley, Cotto, Kirkland, and Amir Khan. Now Amir Khan, I'm not even going to talk about that because I gave people 10 years to talk about that. But Mosley, they said he cherry picked Mosley, Cotto, and Kirkland. And they said that Oscar De La Hoya was cherry picking. How would Oscar De La Hoya cherry pick when he was already wasn't Charlo on Golden Boy? Then wasn't Oscar trying to get Canelo to fight Charlo on Golden Boy? So that doesn't make a lot of sense. And doesn't Oscar always put his young fighters in the ring with big time guys? He did it with Ryan Garcia. He did it with Zerto. He did it with Jaime Munguia just now with Canelo. He makes all his young guys fight. The only person that's not really forcing the issue with right now is Zepeda, because Zepeda is still a guy who's undefeated that Oscar is hanging on to. You know, he needs one guy who's at least undefeated that he can kind of dangle the carrot in front of. But these other guys like Ryan Garcia, he knows the money's there for Ryan Garcia, so he's not going to pass that up. And he also Oscar knew that Ryan Garcia was going to be too big for the 135 weight class, and he possibly would never get a chance to fight Tank Davis again. So he went ahead and took that fight immediately. And that's what he also did with Devin Haney, because he also knows Ryan's going to be away from 140 soon. So that fight might never happen. So let me try to put that fight together real quick. So he always does that. Oh yeah, I love the fact they hate Haney. Oh, I love it. I love it. Oh, I love it. I'm gonna tell you why. I'm gonna tell you why I love they do that. I'm glad they act so crazy yesterday. They care about everything. I've never seen a guy lose and people still want to see him lose again. Never seen it in my life. So that goes to show that they don't think he lost. They say, oh, PEDs don't matter. Well, why are you still complaining about? I mean, bro, at this point, you're just trying to, you're trying to do something else. This not boxing no more. You're trying to be violent now. They want this guy to like be off the face of the earth at this point. Knock on wood, but I'm just saying, like, the way they're talking is extreme now. Then they turn around and they'll bash Tank Davis for his resume and say, oh, Tank's resume is trash. But I love me some Ryan Garcia and Isaac Cruz. Isn't those the guys that Tank just fought? Like, make up your mind, man. I can't even get Tank to fight an American right now outside of Frank Martin, because so many people are giving him credit for Isaac Cruz and Ryan Garcia. But then they want to turn around and say he's not fighting anybody. You can't say that your favorite fighters are Pitbull and Ryan Garcia, then say that Tank's not fighting anybody. See, what they want to do is they want to piggyback off what people like me and PD and other people say, because we've been watching Tank for so long. We just want to see Tank challenge himself a little bit more before he get older. I don't want him to get in a position like Canelo and he's 33, 34, and people say he's too old. He's too old now, and he don't need to take this kind of challenge. Because that's the position he's going to be in soon. Because I know he's not going to fight Shakur Stevenson this year or next year. I think next year is pretty done. Then I'm hearing fans say that they'll rather see Tank fight Edwin De Los Santos right now. And I'm like, that's not a bad matchup. But I'm saying Tank's career is basically to the point where he needs to fight a De Los Santos to stay relevant. And De Los Santos couldn't even lay a finger on Shakur Stevenson. So what? Tank go out there and knock out a guy who couldn't lay a punch on Shakur Stevenson? What is that going to tell you? Even if Tank go out there and knock out De Los Santos, Shakur Stevenson isn't the type of guy that'll go out there and knock out De Los Santos. I think De Los Santos is getting too much credit for throwing 20 punches on Shakur Stevenson. And you can't even get a good picture of him even catching Shakur Stevenson with a bad shot. So I think I've never seen a guy lose and get so much credit in my life. Now they want Tank to fight guys that Shakur Stevenson lost, that lost to Shakur Stevenson. But then they'll say Shakur Stevenson ain't fighting nobody. Like, what are we talking about? What's going on out here in boxing? And everybody got a voice now. And everybody's been wrong for a long time now. I don't care about the predictions, but when you're pushing narratives and they're completely wrong, oh, Shakur don't fight nobody, man. He fights bums. But I want to see De Los Santos versus Tank. Then they said they want to see Tank versus Isaac Cruz. And Isaac Cruz is not really an exceptional boxer like that. Then a lot of people say he's one-dimensional. He's been one-dimensional. What you thought Isaac Cruz was? Floyd Mayweather? They talking about he's one-dimensional, man. Really, his dad is training him, and I guess that's the way his dad's training him. But people don't question Shakur Stevenson. I'm gonna do another live later on today. Trust me. I'm gonna go ahead and we're gonna do another live today talking about that. I don't want to get into that too much. We're gonna have to do a live about that because a lot of these lives, I made this thumbnail like 2 or 3 weeks ago. So a lot of these videos I'll be putting out, they be old news to me, but I sit on so much news. Trust me. I know how the game go in boxing. I just don't like talking about the business of boxing because people don't know the business of boxing. People don't, there's no reason right now. Yeah, man, come on, man. Haney's still a top fighter right now. I've never heard anybody say Anthony Joshua is a bum because he lost to Andrew Ruiz. And he lost to Usyk. So he lost to a journeyman that was a heavyweight, and he lost to a guy who was a cruiserweight. And people still want to see him fight Tyson Fury for what? So, because that's why? Because that's a UK fight. And then they'll say that Americans don't got no. Bro, I'm telling you. Then they threw a parade for Bacoli. Martin Bacoli, and I know that's Africa, so I ain't disrespecting them. You know what I'm saying? But Martin Bacoli they threw a parade for him for beating a prospect. Jared Anderson is basically a prospect, 24 years old. They threw a parade for him after beating him. They threw a whole parade for him beating Jared Anderson. And Sugar Hill's been having a terrible year. Him and Derrick James the last a year and a half. Bro, I've been trying to tell people about Derrick James and Sugar Hill. Been trying to tell people. People think I don't know boxing. I told people that Sugar Hill and Derrick James was not it. I thought people knew that after Anthony Joshua left. I said, Anthony Joshua left Derrick James? Wow. Anthony Joshua found out, man, this dude don't be knowing what he talking about, man. You can basically say that Charlo and Earl Spence been doing the same thing since they met Derrick James. But their undefeated record, when you have a fighter who's undefeated, people feel like you can't argue with nothing they done. I'll say, man, I want Earl Spence to kind of work on some different things and switch his style up a little bit more. Oh, man, Earl Spence undefeated, man. He undefeated, man. Why he need to switch up trainers? He got Derrick James, Charlo over there too. So what? Who cares that Charlo's over there? Exactly. I'm gonna pin that message, PD. Trash. That's gonna be the new word right there. You just made one up. That's definitely gonna be the new word we're gonna use right there. Trash. Exactly. And I'm gonna say another thing too about Bacoli and everybody else. I looked at Tyson Fury's resume, right? Yeah, that's hilarious. They had some very talented boxers, PD. He had the best stable in boxing. He had Anthony Joshua, he had Spence, he had Charlo. All those guys was on the verge of being undisputed. And I do give credit to Earl Spence and Charlo for making 2 undisputed fights last year, because we know a lot of people like Canelo ain't gonna do it. But I give him credit for making an undisputed fight last year between those guys, because they did take a risk. That's why I don't try to like push them away and say they done like that, because everybody else ain't saying a lot of these other guys is done. They got way worse losses. Those guys didn't challenge themselves. That's why people want to make Andrew Ruiz seem way better than what he is, because people saying Andrew Ruiz will sleep Wilder, like acting like Wilder ain't fighting guys 40, 50 pounds heavier. And then what Andrew Ruiz looked like against Big Baby? I know he been out 2 years, but so has Virgil Ortiz though. He only fought 2 or 3 rounds this year. So Virgil Ortiz been out 2 years. I ain't heard nobody sitting out here saying Virgil Ortiz been out 2 years, man. Nah, they don't care. They don't care about Bacoli, man. I mean, a lot of fans like him, but I ain't never heard nobody mention Bacoli's name until the Jared Anderson fight popped up. Because I've been talking about Bacoli a while, and even when I was talking about Michael Hunter beating Bacoli, Michael Hunter went 12 rounds with Usyk, had a close fight with Usyk, almost beat Usyk, and he beat Bacoli. And people don't say that Michael Hunter, Michael Hunter, the most underrated fighter in America, in boxing, period. He's the most underrated boxer in boxing. But he don't get the same respect. He don't get no respect for beating Bacoli. And Bacoli was heavier than him. Michael Hunter was like only 210 pounds when he fought Bacoli. What people don't realize is a lot of American heavyweights, or a lot of guys, like the toughest fight Tyson Fury had was against guys who weighed 210 pounds. And the dude is almost 300 pounds. That's why a lot of trainers and people are saying we need a super heavyweight class. And we might need one, because from what I've seen lately, they'll put Jilly Jong in the ring with a 200-pound Wilder, or they'll put Tyson Fury in the ring at 275 with Wilder, because Tyson Fury was 251 first fight against Wilder, but second 2 fights 275, because he need to be a weight bully. You know what I'm saying? Being 40 pounds over Wilder, that ain't enough. I need to be 60 pounds over Wilder, which is disgusting. And then people will say, man, Tank don't need to fight 5 pounds up, 10 pounds up. But he the best, though. He get knockouts, though. He's a better boxer than Wilder. I ain't never heard nobody say Tank can't box. So why he can't go up 15, 20 pounds like Wilder and all these other guys going up 40, 50 pounds? They try to get one of my favorite fighters killed, man. On purpose. That's disgusting. I'll never rub elbows with these guys out here. They try to get all my favorite fighters destroyed. PEDs don't matter now. Weight don't matter until it's their favorite fighter. Hey, wait till y'all see these videos today. Wait till y'all see these videos I dropped today about all that weight stuff. I promise you, I'm gonna talk about weight so much these next 4 or 5 months. People gonna think I'm a weight channel. My channel is about nothing but weight. I've been hearing about weight ever since that Devin Haney fight, the narratives. Oh my God, I'm gonna destroy all that. I'm gonna destroy all of it. But yeah, Bacoli has been beat by American fighters, but we ain't throw no parade when we beat Bacoli. Like, that's crazy. And most of these guys who are heavyweights, they're fighting guys who are smaller than them. Bacoli said, man, I'm sorry that I upset the American fans or something like that. I'm like, bro, you beat a 24-year-old Jared Anderson, bro. Yeah, you ain't the only one, man. And then people talking about a rematch? Absolutely not. Yeah, me too, PD. I was kind of suspect about that too, PD, because I said, because what happened? They had Barbosa as a backup already. That was the weird part. They already had Arnold Barbosa. He was the backup way before the fight was even talked about. They already had him as a replacement. People don't even know that. Barbosa was already going to be the replacement for Ryan Garcia, because everybody said he's not going to make it to the fight, because the dude was 160 the whole time, walking around. He needed a scooter and everybody else. We never heard about guys needing weight loss coaches. It's crazy. A dude got a weight loss coach, and nobody says that he's a weight bully. But one thing I do know is, and I said it yesterday in my video, a lot of people already know that Ryan Garcia is a 154 pounder. Ryan Garcia can't even make 147 without PEDs, allegedly. Without PED, because people say PEDs don't do nothing. PEDs help Ryan Garcia make it to 143. He would have never been at 143 without them PEDs. Ryan Garcia would have never even touched 143 without PEDs. And look, he'll never fight at Ryan Garcia will never fight at 140, 147 no more. Look how big he is in this video. He'll never fight at 147, 140 again. It's too big, man. He's bigger than Charlo in this video. He'll never fight at 147, 154 again. Can't get in the ring with a guy like that. Like PD said, Mike, you can't accept the fight like that. You really can't. And then fans say, man, the PEDs don't matter. But Tank Davis, them coach was saying that guys was putting PED cream on them though. And watch this. This is how people say PEDs don't matter. Okay, let's go to Tank Davis. Here we go. Since PEDs don't matter. That's why I say I listen to everything, bro. When I say I listen to everything, I'm not one of those guys who think I know everything. I listen to everybody. So everybody better watch what they be saying out here. I listen to everything. But this stream was actually supposed to be about Canelo saying that PBC is the best though. Because the reason why I was bringing it up, I ain't say that since PD being in here. But PD, I was saying that not Eddie Hearn, but Al Heyman. A lot of people said that Al Heyman was forcing Canelo. This is where the narratives are going to get destroyed at right now. I'm gonna destroy about 6 narratives after I say this. People said that Canelo was forced to take the fight at PBC to fight Munguia. Then they said that he was going to leave the PBC contract and go fight on the zone by himself. Then they turned around and said, oh, Al Heyman is forcing Canelo to fight Munguia at PBC. So how can Al Heyman force Canelo to fight at PBC to fight Munguia, but Turkey Al-Sheikh can't force Canelo? Oscar De La Hoya can't force Canelo to fight Charlo or anybody. But for some reason, they're trying to tell me that Al Heyman forced Canelo to fight Munguia at PBC. But they say Canelo can do whatever he want. How can he do whatever he want? And he just, so you're going to follow Al Heyman's protocol, but you're not going to follow what Turkey Al-Sheikh says or what Oscar De La Hoya says? That don't sound right. It sound like the media pushing narratives. Then Canelo turns around. That same Al Heyman guy that everybody been complaining about all these years. Now they ready to spend $100 to watch Canelo fight on PBC against Berlanga because obviously Canelo said what? PBC has been better. He would have had a better career with PBC than what he had with the Zone and with Golden Boy. If he would have started off with PBC at the beginning of his career. And you know what everybody's narrative was after that? Oh, well, Oscar was cherry picking with Canelo at Golden Boy. Oscar got this man a Floyd Mayweather fight and everything, but now he cherry picking. I blame Floyd Mayweather. Floyd Mayweather should have never fought Canelo Alvarez. Period. Because you know why? Canelo ain't fighting everybody for $150 million. He won't get in the ring with Crawford for $150 million. I meant for $110 million. Because that was offered, $110 million. He won't get in the ring for $110. But Mayweather fought this guy for like what? How much Mayweather made against Canelo? Because everybody say, oh, Mayweather care about his money, man. He just care about money. Mayweather made $41 million. Mayweather made $41 million to fight Canelo, which was not worth it. And Canelo won't take 110 to fight Crawford. Like, what are we talking about? And Canelo was a nobody. So they wanted Mayweather to lose so bad to Canelo that they gave Mayweather $41 million to fight a guy who's basically a newcomer. Something like a prospect. They'll say 30-something, 40-something fights by then. Bro, he was a prospect, man. Let's be real. Let's be real. Fighting old guys don't make it seem like you're ready. Oh, I done missed the Yep. Yep, you're right. You're right, PD. Only one time. I don't know why I ain't see your message. Yeah, exactly. Facts again. That's a good point right there. But they trying to make it seem like Al Heyman. So Al Heyman can tell Canelo to do whatever he want. That's the first time I seen a black guy with that much power. Man, maybe Al Heyman need to run for president then. He got more power than Turkey Al-Sheikh out here. And I'm not talking down on Al Heyman. I'm just saying the fans set up here and said, I can't stand Al Heyman. He is terrible for boxing. But he just put on Canelo's last 3 fights. And you're supporting it. And you're happy about Canelo fighting Charlo, Munguia, and Berlanga. Oh, yeah, I know. I already know, PD. I agree with that. I agree with that. He got them strings, boy. Them strings he got. I heard somebody said Richardson Hitch is gonna fight Lipinets. So he looking to fight Lipinets next too. Look that up. I might have to report that. Shout out to my dog Tyrese, man. Appreciate that for giving me that news yesterday, Tyrese. Hey, I said, bro, they be hating. And when I put out real news, man, they be hating so hard. I said Volzit was coming back this year. Everybody supposed to no, he's not. And now he talking about fighting Benavidez. Well, they talking about something else besides, Sergey Lipinets. Hitchens. Hey, my dog told me that, so I'm gonna have to report that. Let me go ahead and write this down real quick so I won't forget. Lipinets versus Hitchens. That sounds about right too. Hey man, I ain't gonna lie to y'all, man. I know fights is gonna happen next year. I think I got an idea who Canelo gonna fight next year already. And let me tell you why I'm not wrong. I said that last year about Berlanga, and I was right. He fighting Berlanga. I got the videos up. I was right about Tank Davis fighting Frank Martin. I said that last year. So I gotta start trusting my gut, you know what I'm saying? Even though I feel like I might be wrong. I ain't been wrong that much. I gotta start trusting myself. But yeah. You said but PD speaking facts though. But everybody talking about they don't like Al Heyman, but they ain't saying nothing about Al Heyman forcing this man to fight this guy. Why they ain't complaining about Al Heyman forcing Canelo to fight Munguia like they said they was, allegedly? They be talking crap about Al Heyman until he got with Canelo. Now they like, yeah, well, Al said so. So Al Heyman ain't got no money like Turkey Al-Sheikh. Let's stop it. And no disrespect to Al Heyman, but he knows it. Turkey Al-Sheikh got way more money. And Canelo talking about paydays. Turkey Al-Sheikh asking Canelo, do he want a payday? You want payday? It's funny because when Tank said no to Turkey Al-Sheikh, everybody like, see, Tank don't want to fight nobody. Turkey Al-Sheikh trying to save boxing. Did y'all remember when everybody said that Turkey Al-Sheikh was going to save boxing earlier this year? Hey, this the crazy part. PD, none of us on this channel said that Turkey Al-Sheikh was saving boxing. We were just sitting back watching it. Now all of a sudden everybody out here like, man, Turkey Al-Sheikh destroying boxing, man. These same people were saying that he was saving boxing though. I don't understand that. Maybe if Tyson Fury would have won. And then what's crazy is I notice how everybody is looking forward to Tyson Fury having a rematch and possibly winning. See, a lot of people turned around and said, "Oh, Usyk was going to beat Tyson Fury," but why you want to see Tyson Fury rematch Usyk so bad? Oh yeah. Okay, okay, okay. Yeah, I wasn't. I wasn't. I wasn't. I'm still. I'm still kind of not. I'm still kind of not because I'm gonna explain why. I'm gonna explain why I'm still kind of not a fan of it, but I don't really care because everything got to get exposed. But I'm not really a fan of it because I feel like the American fighters are getting harder fights as far as challenges. Like you gotta think about it. Joshua and Fury fought an MMA fighter. That's the reason why I didn't like it. Because you got Wilder fighting guys who's almost 300 pounds and people saying he's a bum. But then you got Tyson Fury and all these guys, they fight heavyweights that's like less, that way less than them. Then they got guys, they fight MMA fighters. So while they fighting MMA fighters, you got Deontay Wilder getting off the couch fighting real good fighters like Zhang and everybody. He's not fighting no bums. As everybody knows, Joseph Parker and Zhang is not a bum. You know what I'm saying? So when they say Wilder ain't fought nobody, I think that conversation is over with. You'll never hear that again. Now the guys who really ain't fighting nobody is the guys they've been praising this whole time. Look at Tyson Fury's resume. You're gonna see a lot of guys on that 210 pounds, 220, 230. Then you look at his weight, he's 250, 275. He's been weight bullying his way through his career. But you know, we try to be fair so bad that people want to bring up the weight bully narrative. They're gonna destroy their favorite boxer saying that. They don't know that yet. Then when people say Canelo was too big for Crawford, Charlo was too big for Crawford. And we all said that. Then they complain about the fight like, oh, Charlo ain't do enough. John Ryder ain't do enough. Yeah, you right though, PD. I didn't like it, bro. That's the reason though why PD, because look at Jared Anderson. Jared Anderson wasn't supposed to be on the ring with no Bacoli. And if you look at Bacoli's resume, PD, Jared Anderson ain't never fought no guy the same size as him. So not only was he fighting a guy the same size as him, he fighting a guy that's 30 pounds heavier than him. Yeah, we ain't never looked at that weight bullying stuff. No, I actually like the matchups. But in my eye, I want to see Anthony Joshua fight Bacoli. Why is Joshua fighting Otto Wallen and not Bacoli? Why is Tyson Fury fighting Ngannou and not Bacoli? Why Joshua and Fury let Zhang get to what, 41, 42 years old and they still ain't fought that guy? That's suspect to me. But you struggling with Andrew Ruiz? And we see what Andrew Ruiz is now. Andrew Ruiz and Usyk, you done lost to Andrew Ruiz and Usyk. Now you fighting MMA fighters and Otto Wallen, who just fought in Atlantic City, what, 2 or 3 weeks ago? And nobody cared. That's my only thing. Just don't put the guy who can't box in there with people. Y'all say the guy who can't box, he need to fight the best heavyweights. I mean, why the guy who can't box learn how to box at least? That's my whole thing about it. But yeah, I just didn't like the weight discrepancy. Like Big Baby, Jared Anderson ain't never fought a guy who's 250. What, the biggest guy he fought was Charles Martin, and we know how inactive Charles Martin has been. He was rusty until the end of the fight. Yep, absolutely. And Eddie Hearn. Yeah, you're right about that, PD. I ain't like it at first. I just didn't like the matchups. I like the whole festivities and everything. I kind of came around once the Fury Usyk fight came around. I like the undercard on that. I like the undercard on it. A lot of guys fight hard too. The fighters are actually making these. Yeah, it is a sport of weight bullying. It is. Yeah, Pacquiao especially. Especially Pacquiao. Pacquiao was fighting everybody, man. Everybody. I'm in my mind, I wish I knew more about Pacquiao, why Canelo and Pacquiao ain't fight. I seen something recently where I think, and this is like y'all know back then, I think Pacquiao or somebody was offered like $60 million to fight Canelo. I think it was Pacquiao or somebody. I don't think the fight went through though for some reason. Yeah, I give Loma props for fighting at 135. Absolutely. That's what people do not give Lomachenko credit for. Lomachenko could easily go back to 130 and just be like, you know what, I'm gonna camp out down here. Because the fans don't really pay attention to Loma when he's not fighting a big name like Haney or potentially Tank Davis. When he was fighting Cambosis, people they ain't really check in like that. That's why I wanted to go live so bad for that fight, but I didn't go live for that Lomachenko fight because I wanted to see how many people was going to talk about Lomachenko without his name being mentioned with Devin Haney or Tank Davis. And I was right. Nobody had mentioned Lomachenko's name without those names being mentioned with his name. People don't really care about Lomachenko like that. That's why when they was arguing about, well, Haney lost to Lomachenko, bro, you don't care that much about Lomachenko to be arguing a year later. You don't care that much. If you do care that much, I want you to prove it. So when Pacquiao fight Kambosos, I want y'all to go live and show how many fans actually care about Lomachenko. Oh yeah, Roy Jones too. Roy Jones was a dog, PD. Hey, yeah, you was right about Jim Lampley too. I had to go back and look. I was thinking about Larry Merchant for some reason. You was right about Jim Lampley and Max too the other day. I was thinking about Larry Merchant. I don't know why. I seen Jim Lampley been giving some good interviews lately too, man. They definitely. I like him better than Al Bernstein. No disrespect, but just to keep it 100. Seeing Al Bernstein say some crazy stuff. Yeah. He fought that guy. He fought him. PD, he fought him early too. He fought him early. I like Gary Russell, but man, he fought him. I was like, bro, you gotta give him credit. He fought you. He definitely fought you. Gotta give him credit for that. Could have been possibly a rematch in that fight, but he gave you a chance. Definitely gave you a chance. That was a close fight. Yeah, Roy Jones especially. Roy Jones did not get the credit he deserved from going from middleweight to heavyweight. That's some stuff that I probably might. Man, look, that doesn't happen a lot. I think that hurt his career because it was hard for him to get that weight off after a while. But maybe he was gaining weight. He just moved up, but I don't know. A lot of that weight could have been unhealthy. Because Usyk wants to go back to cruiserweight right now. He's way bigger than what Roy Jones is. He's trying to go back to cruiserweight now. He said he'll fight Joshua if he wants a rematch, but Joshua ain't talking about fighting Usyk, man. He ain't talking about fighting Usyk. We could possibly be looking at a robbery in that Fury fight if it's close, to be honest with you. Unless Danny Dubois spoils the party. Now, if Danny Dubois goes out there in 4 weeks and spoils the party on Usyk in Fury fight, and he wins, yeah, Roy Jones is that guy. Roy Jones was the best fighter coming up. Like in my house, I know a lot of people like Mike Tyson around that time, but in my house, Roy Jones was the guy. He was the guy. Roy Jones was the guy. And I like Oscar. Oscar was one of my favorite fighters growing up. And Floyd was too. This was way before people was talking about Floyd. Floyd used to get people used to overlook Floyd. I heard somebody was on young back then, so I can't remember. I heard somebody say Floyd was on Mike Tyson undercard back then. I wonder what fight that was. They said Floyd was on the Mike Tyson undercard. Or that was. Look. Oh yeah. Floyd, yeah. Floyd is definitely on that level. But is he doing what? But I'm gonna tell you right now though, is Floyd doing what Crawford doing right now? No, sir. I'm telling you, Floyd ain't doing what Crawford doing right now. Floyd ain't doing what Crawford doing. What Crawford doing right now? What Crawford doing right now? Wait till I put this. PD. I don't know. Do I still got another? I show you the screen, PD. Look at the screen, PD. This the news I'm gonna be talking about for the next week or two. Because people said Crawford ain't ready for Canelo. Yeah, he did. He absolutely did. He took that step forward. That was something I thought Roy was gonna do. I thought Roy was gonna be the person that actually was gonna do that, but he didn't do it. Thought Mike had a chance, but he wasn't really business savvy like that. I think more so, to be honest with you, I think Floyd's father had more to do with that. His Floyd's father and his uncle had more to do with Floyd actually knowing a lot about the business and stuff like that. I think without his father and everybody being around, he wouldn't have known the business. Because Floyd's father doesn't get enough credit for being a trainer. The kind of trainer he is, he's a Hall of Fame trainer. If he's not in the Hall of Fame, he should be. Don't really know too much about that. But he's a Hall of Fame trainer. I don't think Floyd's father gets enough credit for showing Floyd the ropes as a team. You got a lot of boxing people that they out here talking about the Vargas brothers and Fernando Vargas, his sons. You got people talking about Ryan Garcia and his brother, and Benavidez and his brother don't get no credit, even though they always taking a hard fight. So a lot of these boxing families, even I even heard Fedor and his sister getting credit, which they deserve, but Floyd and his family don't really get respected as one of the greatest fighting families of all time. They don't really get the respect they deserve. So a lot of that credit that Floyd gets, a lot of it should be distributed out to his family as well, because they knew about the business way before him. You can even look at his uncle right now. His uncle knows. His uncle stays in the gym. Oh yeah. Al Heyman had a big part behind that too, though, as well. Richard Schaefer, Al Heyman, Oscar gave him a chance to fight too as well, so that played a big part. Oscar passing down the torch to Floyd. I think the Oscar fight did more for Floyd than anything, because I was watching the Arturo Gatti fight live, and when he beat Arturo Gatti, I thought that was the greatest thing ever, because I looked at Arturo Gatti as, Arturo Gatti, he was the standard back then as far as guys who was just fighting anybody and fighting hard and just being a tough fighter. But when Floyd fought Oscar, that's when a lot of people started giving him credit. But after Arturo Gatti fight, they didn't really give Floyd credit like that. You know what I'm saying? For some reason, he just didn't. He never translated to the community like that. Oh yeah, absolutely. You gotta have the talent. Yeah, it's a team effort. Yeah, absolutely. But I'm just saying, overall, they don't get no credit though, at all. Like people act like Floyd didn't have no. He didn't. People act like Floyd didn't have two uncles and a father that was a pro boxer, and that was training Floyd. Floyd daddy trained Oscar De La Hoya. You know what I'm saying? Ricky Hatton. Like the guy ain't no bum, you know what I'm saying? He got trained by one of the best trainers of all time. They might not think so, but oh yeah, exactly. I was gonna say that too. That's why he was around that. He needed that. But Floyd shot himself in the foot these last couple of years though. I don't think he got that buzz around him like he used to have, man. I think the stuff he did this year was disgusting. Even giving him praise right now is hard because, bro, you assisted in the Ryan Garcia situation, like, and that's Floyd, my favorite fighter of all. He basically one of my favorite fighters of all time. He got to be, yeah, he got to be up there. I know I like Bernard Hopkins, Winky Wright, Sugar Ray Leonard. I like James Toney, Larry Holmes, George Foreman, Ali. I like Joe Calzaghe. It's a couple of guys, man. Oh yeah, Winky Wright going into the Hall of Fame too. Yeah, Floyd helped a lot of guys out, man. Floyd definitely helped a lot of guys out. He definitely did, bro. A lot of these young guys would not be in a position. A lot of these young guys would definitely not be in the position they is right now without Floyd. Floyd gave Adrian Bronner opportunities as well. Adrian Bronner. I mean, he can't do everything for these guys. You know what I'm saying? He put them in a better position than these other people did. So yeah, PD, you right about that. Yeah, PD right 100% of the time. Yeah, I agree with that. I agree with that. Yeah, Floyd done helped a lot of these boxers, man. Because when you look at Bernard Hopkins, he ain't finna help these guys like that. Because what's funny is they was asking Bernard Hopkins about boots at the Ryan Garcia and Haney fight. Like, what you think about boots? He like, oh, this ain't about boots right now. Then recently, they asked him about boots at another fight, and he like, yeah, Boots need to fight so and so. I think Crawford need to fight Boots or something like that. And I'm like, I thought you didn't want to talk about Boots. He said I'll be biased. He said I'll be biased. Yeah, man. I ain't gonna lie, man. People don't understand, bro. It was hard. It was hard to go against a lot of stuff that Virgil Ortiz this week, man. That's why I had to stop, man. I had to put the video out, but I ain't want to say nothing about Virgil Ortiz, man. I don't like talking about guys who taking the hardest fights in boxing. And they young and dude just came off a 2-year layoff. Yeah, man. I ain't gonna lie. It's been a hard week, man. It's hard to be unbiased, bro. You know what I'm saying? Seeing Virgil Ortiz go out there like that and have a tough fight. But usually when guys fight like that, whether it's Haney or Wilder or whatever, when they go 12 rounds and fight like that, I usually say the same thing, like it's a decent fight. But the way other people say, they say, oh man, that guy got washed. He got knocked down twice. Now all of a sudden that don't matter no more? Nah, we ain't finna do that. No, we definitely not gonna do that. But I'm starting to learn though. A lot of people listen to commentating. The commentating and boxing commentating. I'm figuring out now why commentating is needed. The reason why they do commentating on the Zone and Box and ESPN and everywhere else is because they know the fans are going to repeat the same thing they just said on the commentary. I'm starting to learn that now. These fans will say the same exact thing on the commentary. I'm at a stage now where I haven't listened to commentary in like a decade, but fans still listen to commentary. That's why when people were saying, did you listen to the commentary? Nah, I didn't, brother. I'm on here. And if you go back and listen to my breakdown, everything I said in my commentary during the Crawford fight, I said everything that was happening. But you go back and listen to these other guys who's commentating, they super biased. Super biased. But I'm gonna show how unbiased I am today though. I heard people saying, "Oh, Elacius and Glacius was fighting this weekend." Yeah, I'm a big fan of Elacius and Glacius, but that's another guy that Majamal beat at 165. He beat that guy at 165 in 2016. Do we know that Majamal was a super heavyweight? I mean, a super middleweight. He was a 168 pounder in 2016, 8 years ago. So this man almost been a super middleweight for 10 years. And people saying that Crawford ain't ready. And we got boxing experts out here who's supposed to know all this stuff. Majramov is a guy who was 168 10 years ago. I don't think these fans understand what weight bullying and all this stuff actually means. Like it's not a real word. Like weight bully is not a real thing, man. If you can make the weight, you can make the weight. I'm not on here calling Majramov a weight bully because he was 165 in 2016, and Canelo was only 154, and Crawford was 140. So who's really challenging themselves right now? Who's really taking the big challenges? So technically, if Canelo was doing the same thing Crawford doing, he's supposed to be fighting 175s right now. He want to challenge himself, right? Go up 20 pounds. Crawford doing it. Yeah, you make the weight, you make it. I've cut weight before. I had other reasons I did it, but I still did it. I'm not finna, man. It's guys that walk around 250 that can make 200 just by getting a light sweat. Yeah, he used to be 135, close to 130. Close to 130. Yeah, what Crawford doing right now is amazing, man. I don't want to compare it to what Floyd is doing, but it's kind of like it's kind of amazing what he's doing because I think Majramov is a more experienced fighter than what Canelo was when Floyd fought him. Even though Canelo was a very good fighter, Floyd knew the type of guy he was fighting. That's why Canelo's still relevant right now because Canelo was good enough to keep himself relevant. But Floyd knew that Canelo was a good fighter, but he also knew Majramov was an excellent fighter. It's not a lot of guys that's gonna be able to fight Majramov. Majramov went out there and beat Elacius and Glacius in 2018. Then he turns around and fights a guy like Crawford at 54. Man, come on, that's a challenge for Crawford. That's like Floyd fighting Triple G back then. Something that a lot of people wanted Floyd to do. If Triple G was still around in his prime right now, 160, Crawford would have fought Triple G. So that's kind of where Floyd and Crawford starting to separate themselves. Crawford's one of the only fighters that'll fight anybody you ask. It's not like when Floyd was doing it, like, all right, I'm gonna let this fight build up with Pacquiao. Crawford like, no, send him right now. I'll fight that guy right now. And that's what fans should want in boxing, but it's not really being celebrated. So I don't know if people gonna understand what Crawford is doing, so I'm gonna have to break that down. But yeah, Majramov, I know people say Elacius and Glacius is a good fighter. Yeah, he's a very good fighter. I think he's gonna be one of the best. But I'm just showing how good Majramov is. He beat Elacius and Glacius at 165. Then turned around and went back down to 154 and fought Crawford. And this was in 2018 when he was 165. So all these years, Majamov's been a 165. So when people say that Crawford's not ready, no, that's the biggest lie you can never say. To be honest with you, these fans not ready because they don't know what's going on. They don't even know that Majamov's a 165, man. 168. Yeah, bro, that's the biggest respect ever. Yeah, you know how hard that is, PD. And they still act like they just met, man. Yeah, that's super respect. I definitely respect them because of that, bro. Crawford a real one. He's a real one. He's a real stand-up guy. Like even Ali had multiple, you know what I'm saying? He had multiple joints, but no way. AD, you lying. Bro, you lying, bro. AD, you lying, bro. Please tell me you lying. AD, please tell me you lying. Oh man, this might happen. I think Kambosos want to go to 140 though, don't he? Oh, okay. I'm about to say, hey, why you trolling? Hey, why you trolling though? Man, you don't know how. Hey, you don't know how real that is though. That's why I was saying you don't know how real that fight is. That can actually happen right now. That can actually happen because outside of De Los Santos, Rayo, and Pitbull, a lot of people mark Pitbull off because he lost to Rayo. So, and you know what's crazy? I actually announced that Tank could possibly fight De Los Santos or Rayo earlier this year. That's the crazy part. But I knew he was gonna get Frank Martin though. But I said it was a possibility, and it was. They were on the table. See, I put real names out there. I don't put Shakur, Devin, and Lomachenko. The fights I said for Tank Davis this year and last year were De Los Santos, Rayo, Pitbull, and Frank Martin. You're gonna get the real news. You come over here. All those fantasy fights everybody putting together, it sound good, but I put the real news out. And this is after everybody said Frank Martin ducked Shakur Stevenson. That's why I'm saying, man, I don't know if Tank got real fans, bro. I'm a real Tank Davis fan. So when I see fake Tank Davis fans, I don't like that because I don't want to be associated with that. They said Frank Martin was ducking Shakur Stevenson. Why is everybody trying to get Tank to fight guys that Shakur Stevenson was trying to fight or he fought already? He already fought De Los Santos. He tried to fight Frank Martin. Everybody said Frank Martin ducked Shakur Stevenson, but he good enough to fight Tank. Yeah, hey, why you playing, bro? It's a lot of reports circulating about that the Kambosos situation. Because if Kambosos don't try to fight him, he was trying to get Teofimo at 140. So that's why I'm saying, like, hey, and fighting Kambosos right now would be considered better than fighting Frank Martin because Kambosos beat Teofimo Lopez. That's why everybody don't want to call Kambosos a bum because they know that Teofimo got a loss against Kambosos. That's why a lot of people try to have man, he got like, to be honest with you, I think he got like 2 L. He got 3 L's, one Lomachenko and 2 Devin Haney, but it should be 4 with that Maxie Hughes fight. I was watching that Maxie Hughes fight while I was driving. I couldn't see it clearly, but it looked like Kambosos was getting whooped. And Kambosos is one of my favorite fighters. I ain't even gonna lie to y'all. I'm a fan of Kambosos. I actually like Kambosos. But because he always accepting the hard fights. Hey, his resume better than a lot of other guys. Everybody can't say they fought Lomachenko, Teofimo, and Devin Haney. Got to think about it. You say he looked bad in that Lomachenko fight? Nah, I don't think he looked bad. You know what happened? Linsaw, what's up, Linsaw? You know what happened? He was talking too much to Lomachenko. He was so pissed off at Lomachenko, bro. I mean, Lomachenko was so mad. Lomachenko was so mad. He was trash talking so much. Like even after the fight, when Lomachenko stopped him, Lomachenko was like, "Nah, man, get out my face. Get out my face." Like go back and look. He was like, "Get out my face, man." Like Lomachenko was mad that he was trash talking. Lomachenko don't like guys who trash talk. He was mad. Yeah, his reflexes slowed down a lot. Yeah, he lost that fight, PD. He lost that fight. That's why when people say Teofimo need to fight Crawford, I hope Teofimo fights Crawford so we can see the end of his career. He fight Crawford, that'll be the end of his career. Terrence Crawford ain't no Steve Claggett. And that's gonna be later on. I'm gonna talk about that. I don't want to get too much, but I got a video coming up about Teofimo and all that later on. I also try to tell people about Dave Morrell, man, about them 10 fights he got. I said Dave Morrell need a couple of more fights before he try to get in the ring with Benavidez. Nah, he ready for Benavidez now. And that guy who just fought Dave Morrell was like, man, I thought Dave Morrell was a big puncher and had a lot of skills, but he didn't say he was a bad fighter. He just was saying like he ain't ready for 175 like that. Not the way people talking. Like he a boogeyman. Man, I'm so tired of T.O. talking, bro. I'm so tired of that guy talking. I can't even do no more news on that guy. So tired of him. I only posted Ryan Garcia. I got Ryan Garcia video coming up, but Ryan Garcia was actually supposed to fight Virgil Ortiz last weekend. Well, actually, it was going to be on a Saudi card, but he was actually supposed to fight Ryan Garcia last weekend. Virgil Ortiz was. Well, Ryan Garcia before he got suspended. Because Virgil Ortiz knows that Ryan Garcia is a 154-pounder. I keep trying to tell people that. Virgil Ortiz is even Oscar said, yeah, we was looking at that Virgil Ortiz fight with Ryan Garcia. Even Oscar said it. Oscar knows that Ryan Garcia is a 154-pounder. You said, how does Canelo, a first ballot Hall of Famer on the Forbes list, want to be like Tank? First of all, Zachy, I got a question for you. I'm glad you asked that question. Because the Forbes list don't mean nothing in boxing. That's first of all. Second of all, because when Mayweather was making all that money, I didn't say nothing about Mayweather making $50 million. Like, let me ask you a question. How does everybody say Floyd Mayweather made $41 million against Canelo, and Canelo only made $5 million? And people say he's the face of boxing, though. He wasn't on the Forbes list when he was fighting Floyd. So what does the Forbes list got to do with anything? And also, let me ask you another thing, Zachy. How many guys right now can actually sell a pay-per-view right now that Canelo fought? I'll wait. How many guys that Canelo fought that can sell a pay-per-view by themselves right now? How many stars have Canelo made? What fighters have got bigger after they fought Canelo? Has anybody Canelo's knocked out or fought, have they gotten bigger in boxing after he fought them? Has Canelo made anybody a star? While you talking about Forbes list and Hall of Fame, that ain't got nothing to do with inside the ring. Who has Canelo made a star to? Because you came in here asking a whole bunch of questions. You really asked me two questions, really. Who has Canelo fought that he's made a pay-per-view star or that he's made famous or anything? Who? We already knew who Triple G was. And while he's thinking about life right now, I'll get back to what we was talking about. Like I said, dudes don't know I be knowing boxing for real. When I really know boxing, that's Floyd though. Tank, what you mean that's Floyd though? What are you talking about? Bro, can you answer the question I asked though? Come on, bro. Don't come in here on that. Come on, man. Come on, dog. Why every time we got black dudes talking to each other, they can't answer each other's questions? Like the respect amongst black people got to change, bro. Could you at least answer the question, bro? I acknowledge your question. I could have just blocked you. Like show me the respect back I showed you. I gave you the floor, bro. You came in here on some just reading the title, don't even know what I'm talking about. You said Floyd is the biggest pay-per-view star ever. So you think pay-per-views matter? Do you know that Conor McGregor has sold more pay-per-views than Canelo? Does that make him a better fighter than Canelo? That's why I said, bro, a lot of y'all black guys in America, bro, we gotta start learning about boxing in the ring. All this stuff outside the ring that people don't even know about, we don't need to be talking about that. Because when I was saying Floyd, I got a video on here right now when I said Canelo was gonna fight Berlanga last year. I announced that in December. Really, I announced it in October, but I officially announced it in December that he was gonna fight Berlanga and Munguia this year. I ain't hear nobody jump in my comments and say, "Hey, bro, you right, bro." Hey, bro, when I sat up here and said he was gonna fight Tank was gonna fight Frank Martin, I ain't seen nobody say, "Hey, bro, you right." So why am I wrong now? Why ain't nobody pat me on the back when I'm right? Is there a need to be right all the time by my people that look like me? Why everybody? Why every time a black man talking to another black man, he got to be right? I just heard Elon Musk and Donald Trump did an interview on Twitter. I know they went arguing on there like, "Hey, I'm right. I got a Tesla. I'm smarter than Donald Trump." What's the need to be right all the time about? Because you ain't answering not one question I didn't ask you. You talking around. You bringing up Floyd. Ain't nobody said nothing about no Floyd. You bringing up Floyd. I just brought up the fact that Floyd got paid $41 million and Canelo made $5 million. And that was one of Canelo's biggest fights. That's the only thing I was bringing up. I think Charlo made way more than that fighting Canelo. So obviously Canelo went on Floyd level back then. Yeah, he'll knock him out 2 or 3 rounds. That's what I predict. That's what my prediction was too. PD. Like them days of trying to say Canelo on a certain level. Canelo done got his ass whooped twice. Canelo ain't on no level. Canelo on the level where he got his ass whooped by a little guy like Floyd. Floyd almost the same size as Tank Davis. Tank Davis can go to 147 and do the same thing Floyd was doing. So he got his ass whooped by Floyd Mayweather. Then he got his ass whooped by Bivol, and he ain't rematched both of them. So I don't care how much money somebody got. And that's another thing too. As a man, bro, quit cutting. As men, bro, men need to stop counting other men money. I don't care how much these dudes be making, bro. I don't care about how much another man is making when it comes to boxing or anything. I ain't never asked PD, "Hey PD, how much you make? You make 6 figures?" I only have friends male friends who make 6 figures. That's borderline, you know. It rhymes with hey. That's borderline hey. That's borderline LGBT, bro. Can we stop counting other men's money? Yeah, it's super, bro. Super. Can we stop counting other men's money when it comes to boxing? Didn't nobody count how much Mike Tyson was making in Holyfield? Holyfield he making 40 million, and you know Mike Tyson, nobody cares about that. Like, bro, that's what I'm saying. That's why these young guys out here, they pick their friends based off of how much another man make. That's so LGBT, bro. Come on, man. When did men start doing this? What does that have to do with boxing? What does that have to do with boxing? Nobody cares about how much Floyd made against Canelo. Nobody cares about how much Canelo made. Who cares? Because Canelo made $5 million against Floyd, that mean he ain't good enough? Like, what is the money even talking about? You said no social media back then? No, it wasn't as much Bati boy activity back then. That's what's going on. It's a lot of Bati boy activity. Canelo ain't never rematched one of his losses. And why am I discussing him right now? He finna fight he finna fight a Berlanga who just got kicked off of Top Rank. Are you finna pay $100 to watch that? Let me ask you that, because you on her defending him. Are you gonna pay $100 to watch Canelo fight Berlanga? Yeah, man, we used to root for the underdog all the time. Ain't nobody cares about that money stuff. That's the problem with boxing right there, bro. Every time somebody talking about skill set and how it seems like every time a guy from America is supposed to fight, it's always money issues coming up. It ain't no money coming up when it's none of them guys on pound for pound even sell pay-per-views. So why are we talking about money? None of the guys on pay-per-view. You said Berlanga is just as good as Frank Martin. No, he's not. Frank Martin beat Virgil Ortiz in the amateurs, while Berlanga was getting dropped in the amateurs. No, he's not. Tank Davis already said Frank Martin was giving the business in sparring. Berlanga got dropped from Top Rank. So what are we talking about? And got replaced by guys like Shakur Stevenson. Frank Martin arguably lost to Artem, a bronze medalist. So do you know that Artem is a bronze medalist? Do you know that he's a bronze medalist in the Olympics? Because I know he's a bronze medalist, bro. Artem is a bronze medalist in the Olympics. I know they're giving those out these days, but back then when he was fighting, you actually had to earn those. So Frank Martin arguably lost to a bronze medalist, and how was that embarrassing? He went 12 rounds with a bronze medalist and dropped him. So what's embarrassing about that? Or they ain't tell you that he was a bronze medalist? I'm telling you, y'all gotta quit listening to these channels. Y'all gotta quit listening to these channels. None of this stuff got nothing to do with in the ring. None of this stuff got nothing to do with in the ring. You said Luke Campbell was a gold medalist and Ryan stopped him. The same, yeah, bro, but everybody knows Ryan is on PEDs, bro. Ryan was possibly on PEDs against Luke Campbell. Because that same Ryan Garcia went 12 rounds with Emmanuel to go. And you do know that Luke Campbell retired at 33 years old. He hasn't fought since he was 33 years old after that Ryan Garcia fight because he possibly knows that something was wrong. You do know that Conor Benn is in America fighting right now because he failed PEDs. They don't play that in the UK. In the UK, it's not a lot of people fighting over there in the UK right now because they're not playing about the PEDs right now. I don't think you know that, but that's a reason why Conor Benn is over in America right now fighting. They're not playing about the PEDs. Now you got certain fighters not right now that won't even fight Ryan Garcia because of the PED situation. Unless they're gonna get paid like Triple G. They had to give Exactly. Exactly. That's why DAZN gave Triple G $100 million because you know why? They knew Triple G was fighting the guy who was on PEDs. What are we talking about? You think Canelo coincidentally just took PEDs when he went to 160 to fight Triple G? Oh, this was an accident, you know. Nah, it wasn't no accident. That's why Floyd was making all this noise about PED tests all these years. That's why you got guys like Nonito Donaire was doing all this VADA testing and stuff like that. That's why you got a lot of guys right now that don't want to fight Nonito. It's kind of weird. Ain't it kind of weird how Nonito Donaire went 12 rounds with Inoue? Then the second fight, he get dropped by Inoue? I'm just throwing that out there. He went 12 rounds with Inoue. Now, all of a sudden, he can't survive against Inoue the second fight. I'm just putting that out there. I ain't accusing nothing. That's a fact. Like over here, bro, I don't really talk about numbers or pay-per-view numbers. Most of these guys don't sell pay-per-views. I know a lot of black channels and everything don't tell you that, but it's only like 3 or 4 guys that actually sell pay-per-views on their own. Devin Haney, Wilder, Tank, Anthony Joshua. Y'all got any other names out there? Ryan Garcia can sell one by himself. No. He needs a black guy. So how many guys is doing pay-per-views without a black guy? What, Triple G and Canelo What, Usyk and Fury? Those like the only two when you think about it. They can't sell no pay-per-views without you said Devin Haney. What's wrong with Devin Haney? What's wrong with Devin Haney? Devin Haney lost that guy on PEDs. What's wrong with that? And he went 12 rounds. What's wrong with that? And he had the same type of fight Virgil Ortiz just had. What's wrong with that? What's wrong with Devin Haney? If Devin Haney's a bum, Virgil Ortiz is a bum. If Virgil Ortiz is a bum, guess who else is a bum? A lot of these guys are. So what's wrong with Devin Haney? What's wrong with Devin Haney? He can't get knocked. He got knocked down by a guy on PEDs, but Virgil Ortiz got knocked down by a guy who don't even knock people down like that. We do know that, right? That guy Virgil Ortiz was fighting. That's not a knockout artist. We do know that, right? We do know that the guy Virgil Ortiz just fought got knocked out by Brandon Adams, right? You said Devin Haney is not a pay-per-view star? Bro, stop it, bro. That's why I'm saying, bro. What are we talking about? Bro, did y'all see what this guy just said? Devin Haney is not a pay-per-view star. I'm just gonna let y'all look at that real quick. Can you name the pay-per-view stars that's in boxing right now? Who's selling more pay-per-views than Devin Haney right now? Edwin De Los Santos, Shakur Stevenson, they don't do pay-per-views. Who? Frank? Who? Isak Cruz? No. Ryan Garcia, he needs a black guy. Ryan Garcia hasn't done one pay-per-view without a black guy. So not him. Can Ryan Garcia do a pay-per-view without a black guy? Can we see that, pretty please? I'm kind of waiting on that. You said it did 150 pay-per-views? And how much did Kambosos versus Loma do? How many pay-per-views did Loma versus Kambosos do? You said that's terrible? You think it's terrible for a 25? Hold on. How old was Devin Haney then? 24? Devin Haney was 24 then. So you saying a 24-year-old boxer selling 150 pay-per-view buys is terrible? Y'all, now I want everybody to listen to this now. Because I already know what channels bro be listening to. You said 150 pay-per-view buys for a 24-year-old boxer is terrible. And we got guys that's 34 years old that can't sell a pay-per-view. Lomachenko 36? He can't sell a pay-per-view right now on his own. You gonna tell me a 24-year-old black man from America selling 150 pay-per-views at 24 years old, something that Floyd Mayweather never did. Floyd Mayweather wasn't selling pay-per-views until he got in his 30s. You telling me that a guy with 150 pay-per-view buys in his 20s at 24 years old is terrible? Is that what we pushing now? Who believes that? Bro, your argument is dead already, bro. It's not 5 people that sell that's on pay-per-view, bro. Everybody ain't on pay-per-view, bro. Pay-per-view is for black people, bro. I don't know if you know that or not, bro. That's why I said, bro, the channels you be watching, bro, you've been wasting your time, bro. You ain't been getting educated. Only black people are on pay-per-views on the regular. Unless your name is Canelo, you're not on pay-per-view. Bitter Biv is not on pay-per-view. You can't go. Bam Rodriguez is not on pay-per-view. Lomachenko is not on pay-per-view. That was his first and only pay-per-view. And it's a reason why. If Kambosos fight, look at Regis Prograis. Regis Prograis was on pay-per-view. Hey, you know what's crazy? Regis Prograis was on pay-per-view, right? And he like, man, I'm supposed to get a certain amount of money. Regis Prograis said, I'm supposed to get a certain amount of money, man, when you said Mexicans what? Mexicans what? Mexicans don't sell? We just seen Andrew Ruiz and Isaac Cruz on the same card last week in LA. California got the most Mexicans in America, and they couldn't even sell 150 pay-per-views. From what I'm hearing, everybody talking about it ain't do well. So even with Pitbull Cruz, Mexicans ain't selling like that, homie. I don't know who keep pushing their narratives on y'all. They don't got pay-per-view stars in Mexico, homie. They don't know Munguia. They don't know Munguia, dog. They do pay-per-views on the zone. They don't know Munguia, dog. They ain't selling like that. They not selling like that, homie. Don't let these folks lie to you. They not selling like that, bro. Unless they got a black dude they fight. They ain't selling like that. Sorry to tell you. Sorry to tell you. Mexicans they ain't selling pay-per-views like that. Sorry to tell you. They're not. They shot themselves in the foot last week talking about Crawford numbers. Bro, the Crawford trying to help you out. He the one who got Pitbull Cruz and Andrew Ruiz on the card. Y'all talking about y'all want to see Andrew Ruiz fight so bad? Well, here you go. Pitbull, I want to see Pitbull. He top guy at 130, 140. You know, he went 12 rounds of tank. Okay, here you go. Mexicans ain't selling like that, bro. I would know, bro. Most of the fighters I report on is Mexican fighters. Mexican fighters fight anybody. That's the difference. Everybody ain't Canelo. That's what everybody got messed up. Every Mexican fighter. This man think 24-year-olds is supposed to sell over 150 pay-per-view numbers. This guy's hilarious, man. Tank Davis couldn't crack 500 with Benavidez on the fight card. And everybody like, man, it was 400,000. I think I put like 200 or something like up like that, 250. And people like, oh, that's wrong, man. It wasn't 250, it was 400K. So you telling me Tank Davis sold more pay-per-views with Frank Martin than he did with Isaac Cruz? So Tank Davis sold more pay-per-views with Frank Martin than he did with Mario Barrios? But everybody acting like they know boxing, they know the Mario Barrios. Mario Barrios was my favorite fighter since he was training with Virgil Ortiz, Andre Ward trainer. Years ago. I knew Mario Barrios before Tank Davis was even on the scene like that. Bruh, don't let these folks lie to you, man. Don't let these people lie to you, dog. Please don't. Yeah, but guess what, though? This is what they don't tell you, though. Mexicans get their fights for free. They don't pay for pay-per-views in Mexico. The people who are buying these fights are not just Mexican people. That's what I'm saying. Like, Mexicans in Mexico get their fights for free in Mexico. They don't pay for Canelo's fights over in Mexico. They don't pay for his fights in Mexico, dog. Because you know why? Because they're not gonna pay for no John Ryder. They ain't crossing the border trying to get good jobs because they making millions of dollars over there. That ain't what's going on. They crossing the border to get over here because they need money. They ain't crossing the border because they live in lavish. They in the same situation we is over here. They ain't got no $100 to spend to watch Canelo fight John Ryder. What are we talking about? Tank sold because of Mayweather. Exactly. Come on, man. Don't let these folks fool you out here, man. Don't let these folks fool you, bro, when it comes to pay-per-views. Nobody cares about pay-per-views. You said Bud did 100K pay-per-views. That's not good. Do you think that Turkey Al Sheik is paying all this money and he knows that Terrence Crawford is selling 100K? You really believe that? Because I've seen these people put out fake pay-per-view numbers for years. Now all of a sudden they talking about these real pay-per-view numbers. And that's another thing too. Why are all these people watching Terrence Crawford fight Madrimov and they not buying the fight though? So that shows that America even has more hate in their blood. Why is everybody watching Crawford fight Madrimov? It's millions of people talking about the fight. They bragging about Isaac Cruz and Rayo, how big that fight was, and Andrew Ruiz and everything else. These are the guys I want to see fight. These are big Mexican. These are the biggest Mexican stars that they got. Andrew Ruiz is the first Mexican heavyweight. I mean champion. The Mayweather cosign is destroying boxing. My bad, bro. I don't know what's going on. The Mayweather cosign is destroying boxing. The Mayweather cosign is destroying boxing. Every time these guys lose, like Canelo, the Mayweather cosign is destroying boxing. It is destroying the sport. Every time somebody get a cosign by Mayweather, these dudes jumping off buildings for these fighters. When Floyd had Devin Haney around all these years, he had Devin Haney, Rolly Romero, Tank. Floyd had all these guys in the gym together. And he had Devin Haney around since Devin Haney was a baby. But everybody swear they're a super Mayweather fan. How are you a super Mayweather fan? And if you go on YouTube, Devin Haney got plenty of videos where he's with Floyd and his dad all these years, and nobody was watching it. Nobody really knew nothing about Floyd like that for real. I'm gonna be honest with y'all. These dudes don't really know Floyd like that. They don't really know Floyd like that. When Floyd was fighting back then, they was watching Roy Jones and Mike Tyson. When I was watching Floyd, I'm still a young guy. I was watching Floyd back then when these guys wasn't even watching Floyd. And I just heard recently that Floyd was on a Mike Tyson card back then. And nobody would even saw that fight? Nah. No, sir. Appreciate that, PD. The Mayweather cosign is destroying boxing. Because every time he cosigns somebody, even though he trained Haney, he never trained Tank Davis coming up. He didn't train Tank Davis. By the time he found out who Tank Davis was 20 years old by the time Floyd knew who he was. He didn't train Tank coming up. He trained Devin Haney. So when you trash Devin Haney, you're trashing Floyd Mayweather. Because that's the fighter he helped build up from the ground up. He didn't help build up Tank Davis. He didn't help build up, he helped build up Rolly Romero. That's another guy. So the Floyd Mayweather cosign is destroying boxing low key because a guy like Canelo can go out there and lose the Floyd, lose the Bivol, and people will say, well, He did fight Floyd, so let's see what he got. But Devin Haney at 24 years old, he can't have a tough fight with Lomachenko. And they said Lomachenko was #1 pound for pound. Last time I checked, Floyd Mayweather was #1 pound for pound. So Canelo can go out there and get blown out by the #1 pound for pound guy at 23 years old. But Devin Haney can't have a close fight with the #1 guy at 24 years old. And don't let me go back into my research and try to find out. Oh, all right, I'm gonna holler at you, PD. I'll be on here later on and tomorrow, man. Hopefully I see you again. Appreciate that, dog. Have a nice day. I know you gotta go to work. But don't sit up here and act like the Mayweather cosign ain't really doing this for everybody, because Floyd was around Haney for years and nobody knew who Devin Haney was. That's why I laugh when people say, man, Devin Haney trash, man. That's Floyd Mayweather's fighter he had. Tank Davis ain't Floyd Mayweather fighter. Never was. Everybody ain't selling pay-per-views like that. Just sorry to tell you, man. Everybody ain't selling pay-per-views like that, brother. Most of the people who sell pay-per-views are black guys. Unless you fight Canelo. You're not finna get on pay-per-view fighting Bitter Biv or Usyk. Unless your name is Tyson Fury and Joshua and you got a country behind you. But everybody ain't selling pay-per-views like that. It's really just for black guys. These European fighters, they got countries behind them too. Triple G, he ain't selling no pay-per-views on his own. He got a whole country behind him. The dude that Virgil Ortiz just fought last a week, the guy from Ukraine, he got a whole country behind him. No pay-per-views. Do you know what the pay-per-view numbers for that fight is? No, you don't. But what people saying right now though, oh well, Virgil Ortiz, he got knocked down twice. The pay-per-view numbers ain't out, but guess what? He need to fight Crawford. Get out of here. What about Teofimo numbers? They said Teofimo is a pound for pound fighter, even after losing to Kambosos. No pay-per-view numbers. So the only guy at 24 years old that's actually doing pay-per-views, the black guy. For some reason, we can't get no Mexican guys at 24 years old to do pay-per-views unless they fighting Tank Davis or somebody. Ryan Garcia. Ryan Garcia knows he needs a Devin Haney or a Tank Davis attached to them. Because as soon as he fights somebody else, he's done. I don't even got to wish bad on Ryan Garcia. I wanted Ryan Garcia to have a good year this year. I didn't know he's going to be PED'd out. I had a hunch that he was taking PEDs because he didn't jump 3 or 4 weight classes. No, he dropped from 30, so 30, 40, 35, 40. He didn't weigh in at 40, so that's another weight class. He was basically a welterweight. So he dropped 4 weight classes in the last couple of years. And look what's going on. But nah, everybody ain't selling pay-per-views though. I'm gonna have to make a video on this, man. I'm gonna have to make a video on this. People telling me that a black guy, 24 years old, with no country to support him, because obviously, if you can see, the country does not support Devin Haney. America does not support Devin Haney. So a guy who doesn't have support from his own country sold 150 pay-per-views. What's the problem with that at 24 years old? What's wrong with that? What's wrong with that? I seen Tank do 150 with Eastside Cruz, and ain't nobody said nothing about it. That Mayweather cosign is what make these guys. That's what's really going on, and that's just the truth. But the pay-per-view numbers, nah. We're not doing that no more. Them days over with. Like I said, I'm exposing all that stuff, man. This is what this channel about. All them narratives and all that mainstream media stuff. This is what I don't like too. Like bro said, like Zachy said, we ain't have internet back then. We ain't have social media back then. We got social media now, and people are still repeating the same stuff from 1980, 1950. People are still repeating the same stuff from 50 years ago. Oh, this guy ain't selling. This guy ain't doing this. Like, bro, what? Nobody was selling pay-per-views in the 90s. And you old enough to remember that. You old enough to remember that a lot of guys wasn't selling pay-per-views in the 90s. The only person that was selling pay-per-views in the 90s was guys like Mike Tyson and Dennis Rodman and stuff. Cause the first time I seen wrestling on pay-per-view, they had Dennis Rodman and Karl Malone wrestling. So does that mean that I don't know what pay-per-views mean. I seen Dennis Rodman on pay-per-view before, wrestling Karl Malone. If you don't believe it, look it up. That don't mean that you sell more pay-per-views than a guy. Just because you sold more pay-per-views, that don't mean you're better than the next guy. He wasn't better than Hulk Hogan. He wasn't better than The Rock. But it was just drama around it. Ever since then, they realized, oh, if we get this little fake beef going on, that's when they started to find out. And I'll expose that right now before I get off. When they saw Karl Malone, when they got Karl Malone and Dennis Rodman to get on WWF or whatever it was, WCW back then, and they put it on pay-per-view, that's when they realized, oh, if you get drama around two black guys and build it up, that could be a pay-per-view. We could sell that. We could package that up and sell it. Look it up. Karl Malone and Dennis Rodman was on pay-per-view. I was watching that as a kid. Pay-per-view does not matter. The only thing that people like about pay-per-view is the whole drama around everything. But pay-per-view ain't really that serious in America like that. There's no 24-year-old selling pay-per-views on their own except Devin Haney in boxing. Teofimo's not doing it. Teofimo still hasn't had a pay-per-view. Do you think anybody cares that Teofimo doesn't sell pay-per-views? No, they don't. Do you think anybody cares that Berlanga doesn't sell pay-per-views? No, they don't. Do you think anybody cares that Munguia is not selling pay-per-views? And these are all young guys. They don't. Shakur Stevens is not selling pay-per-view. He can with the right matchups like everybody else, but he's not. But from what I'm hearing, people say they want to see De Los Santos fight Tank Davis. So obviously Shakur Stevens' resume is good enough for Tank to be fighting guys after him. So maybe that should have been on pay-per-view. Nah, but the narrative's gotta stop, man. The pay-per-view sales stuff, that whole narrative, that's just for American fighters. Don't nobody bring that narrative up in the UK. They don't make fights based off of pay-per-view numbers. In Japan, they don't make fights based off UK numbers. I mean, off of pay-per-view numbers, because Luis Nery, he's not a pay-per-view star. Inoue fought him, and that's one of his biggest fights. And he got knocked down in the first, second round. And still on pound for pound. Pay-per-view numbers is a black thing, man. They only bring the pay-per-view sales up when it's a black guy. Just it is what it is. Nobody's gonna question Andrew Ruiz about his pay-per-view numbers. Tyson Fury, none of these guys. They don't sell pay-per-views like that. That's why they need Turkey Al Sheik. Tank Davis don't need Turkey Al Sheik. These other guys do. They need the money from Turkey Al Sheik because they can't sell pay-per-views. Tank Davis said this out of his own mouth. I don't know why people are fans of Tank Davis and Canelo and they just don't want to hear what these guys got to say. What they call that, foot and mouth disease? Yeah, that's what's going on, man. These guys, they telling everything. Tank like, bro, why would I go to fight with Turkey Al Sheik when I'm doing the same numbers without Turkey Al Sheik? Those guys need Turkey Al Sheik. I don't. So the pay-per-view numbers is just overrated, man. It really is. I don't believe in a lot of that stuff. It's fluff. If we really want to get to the facts of it, nobody cares about Lomachenko only having one pay-per-view against Devin Haney. To be honest with you, Devin Haney fighting Lomachenko saved his life because nobody was even thinking about Lomachenko before that fight. Then he just fought Kambosos and nobody was thinking about him then. Lomachenko needs Tank Davis, whether people believe it or not. The only thing keeping Lomachenko alive right now is Tank Davis. The only way Lomachenko get a big payday is with Tank Davis. And not because he's Tank Davis, but because Lomachenko needs an American fighter to attach his name to. It just is what it is. The dude haven't really been fighting a lot of American fighters like that. Linares is not American. Rigondeaux is not American. The one he did have was Gary Russell, and guess what? They got him on pound for pound, but everybody say Gary Russell trash. That got Lomachenko #1 pound for pound. He already had a loss. He lost his second fight, but because he beat Gary Russell, they got him #1 pound for pound. But then people will say Gary Russell trash. But that's what got Lomachenko on pound for pound, though. So how trash can he really be when he's helping this dude get on pound for pound list? Yeah, but that bro, that's like I said, man, we got to stop pushing mainstream narratives in boxing. We got too much technology to be going around and repeating the same thing that's on the radio, the same thing that's on the news. Everybody does it. Everybody repeat the same thing that goes on with the commentary. That's why they have boxing commentary, so they can tell you what you can see. God gave everybody eyes, but for some reason they need an old guy who's 60, 70 years old with worse eyesight than you. These guys can barely even see their hands in front of them, but you need them to break down the fight for you in boxing commentary. That's why you got a lot of people saying, man, Majramov whooped Terrence Crawford. Oh, you listen to the commentary. Okay. Yeah, you're right. You're right. What did the commentary say about Triple G, though? But when Triple G and Canelo was fighting, everybody had two different answers. Because why? They didn't want to push the narrative and they weren't biased. You ain't have no American fighter that was involved, so it was fair then. Everybody wanted to be fair when that happened. Triple G ain't sold no pay-per-view numbers, but he made $100 million in boxing. Matter of fact, I got the stat up here right now. Let me go ahead and put that up there before I get up off of here. Where is it at? Because this dude said pay-per-view numbers matter. Let me see if that pay-per-view number. Read that right there. That's how much pay-per-view numbers matter in boxing. And they talking about Triple G is one of the greatest of this generation. And the dude couldn't sell a pay-per-view without Canelo. And I wouldn't say that Canelo made him a star because he was already known before he fought Canelo. Canelo just probably saved his life by attaching him to him. So Triple G needed Canelo's name attached to him because now he's like, yeah, man. And then I'm going to show you another example of why Tank Davis was helped by Floyd, but everybody ain't get help from Floyd like Tank Davis did. Look what Richardson Hitchens said. Richardson Hitchens is very good friends with Floyd or with Tank Davis. And this is what Richardson Hitchens said. Because people don't even know that Richardson Hitchens was actually a fighter of Floyd Mayweather. But they was laughing at him like he a bum though. But then they'll turn around and say, Floyd know what he talking about. He know how to pick talent. Well, why are you laughing at Richardson Hitchens? Did you know that he was a Floyd Mayweather fighter? Do you know that he's friends with Tank Davis? He said, if Floyd Mayweather put that gas on me, I think he would have another star. March 23rd, 2022. This is what Floyd doing for the game, huh? Then he turns around and says, you know, at 147, Terrence Crawford's this ain't what he said. This somebody else said this. I forgot who it was. I think it was like Keith Thurman or somebody, but somebody said it allegedly. But they said, you know, at 147, Terrence Crawford's competition, zero respect, has not been impressive. Sounds like everybody's still saying that after the Earl Spence fight, and this is before he beat Earl Spence. Mainstream media still pushing them narratives, huh? I'm gonna be honest with you. If a lot of people didn't push these narratives in boxing, I wouldn't have a boxing channel. It wouldn't make me special out here. But I'm still to keep dropping these facts though. Everybody not selling pay-per-views, man. Like the fact that people keep bringing up Devin Haney pay-per-view numbers, Nobody in their 20s is selling pay-per-views, bro. Unless your name is Tank Davis or Devin Haney. Nobody is selling pay-per-views in their 20s. Sorry, by themselves. I'm talking about they can get anybody. Ain't nobody finna get Regis Prograis right now and sell no pay-per-views. Regis Prograis sold pay-per-views with Devin Haney, not without Devin Haney, with him. And then have the nerve to talk about, oh man, he was a weight bully, he cheated me. Man, man, he should have, man, don't ever fight no guy like that again. Lost all respect for that guy. You got brothers out here giving other black brothers paydays. Tank Davis fighting all these Mexican fighters. Devin Haney like, you know what? Let me fight Regis Prograis, give him a payday and everything else. Blow his name up. Had great promotion for the fight. Let his name get even further out there. Even though they tried to put Josh Taylor on pound for pound for beating Regis Prograis. Then Devin Haney go beat Regis Prograis. They say, oh, Regis Prograis a bum anyways. What? How he a bum and you just put him on, you put Josh Taylor on pound for beating him? So y'all admitting that Josh Taylor wasn't that good. Because I didn't think Josh Taylor deserved to be on pound for pound. I didn't think Teofimo deserved to be on pound for pound. Because everybody say Campbell's is a bum. Well, Teofimo lost to a bum then. Y'all say he a bum. He lost to a bum. And Teofimo ain't selling no pay-per-views. Why everybody want to see Teofimo fight Crawford, Boots, and everybody else, but he ain't selling no pay-per-views though? What is he bringing to the table? Except losses and excuses. And bruises on his face after every fight. Loma Chico gave this man a black eye. And nobody cares. But they'll talk about how somebody got beat up on PEDs. It looked like some of these guys got beat up by Loma on PEDs. Loma don't give out black eyes. So if you got a black eye by Lomachenko, you got beat up pretty bad. And even Lomachenko will tell you that. So all these guys not right. If Lomachenko was right all the time, then guess what? He accused the judges of accepting a bribe for Teofimo Lopez fight. Because people say, yeah, you know. So Lomachenko done said he got robbed plenty of times in fights. But everybody say, man, Adrian Broner always say that. Lomachenko always says that after every fight. Why do we remember what Adrian Broner says, but not what Lomachenko says? But then people will try to tell you Lomachenko is a bigger star than Adrian Broner. But why you don't remember what Lomachenko says after every fight? Why does Canelo get on here and talk about Ryan Garcia and talking about he accomplished nothing and he can't beat Tank? But nobody wants to report that though. This is good news that people be missing out on. This is real good news. This is old news that people don't want to talk about. Very good news. This is some of the best news you can come across, but people just don't want to report it. They don't want to hurt any feelings. These fans, they jumping in the ring. Why would I care about their feelings? They're not getting punched in the face. I'm just reporting the news. They're not getting punched in the face. No chaos in 2021. But Canelo what? Yeah, you ain't gonna hear this nowhere else, man. Only on this channel. These people don't know real boxing, man. They don't want to hear real boxing news. Well, this is the wrong channel to come to talking about pay-per-view numbers, though. Devin Haney, the only guy that's selling pay-per-views. That's why everybody begging him to fight. That's why Oscar De La Hoya like, man, let me go over there with Turkey Al-Sheikh, because Golden Boy, we about spent right now. We ain't got Ryan Garcia around no more. Zerto, he basically moving on. I got Munguia, but he fighting on Top Rank, so you can't even put Munguia on the zone right now. Yeah, pay-per-view numbers is the most overrated thing in boxing. It's only 4 or 5 guys that's actually selling pay-per-views. Other than that, it don't matter. The fact that if I was a boxing fan, which I am, I would be looking at why Jake Paul and this guy KSI is selling more pay-per-views than Canelo and these other guys. That's what I'd be looking at. If I was a real boxing fan, I'd be asking myself, why is Conor McGregor with almost 10 losses? Why does he have higher pay-per-view numbers than Canelo Alvarez? But people say, man, people know Canelo worldwide. Why is Conor McGregor, and this is before all that stuff, but Conor McGregor been doing way, because after he fought Floyd, he got bigger. Canelo fought Floyd, and his numbers are for some reason they're lower than Conor McGregor. And I don't know if everybody knows, but UFC is not a bigger sport than MMA is not a bigger sport than boxing. It's just not. It's not a bigger sport. Trust me, it's not. I would know. I've been watching MMA 20 years. It's not a bigger sport. I was watching MMA when they was in Japan, and the announcers wouldn't even speak English. But you got Conor McGregor selling more pay-per-views than Canelo. So what if I was to run around and say, man, you know, Conor McGregor selling more than Canelo? He ain't no star. He can't even sell more than Conor McGregor. And this dude getting his leg broken in the ring, getting beat up every week. This dude almost got 10 losses. How is he selling more than Canelo? And Canelo got a whole country behind him. Ireland is not, bro, Ireland ain't big enough to be selling 2 million pay-per-views alone. I'm just telling you. And then Canelo got multiple platforms that's helping him. He's on the Zone, PBC. He's fighting guys that used to be on Top Rank. He's fighting guys from different countries. He's fighting in Mexico. He has every big fighter right now either praising him or wanting to get in the ring with him. He's promoted every day for free. We're talking about him now. And his fight is nowhere near close to being to happening. His fight is like a month away. And a lot of people don't even know about Canelo like that, as I've seen lately. The only thing they know about Canelo is he fought Triple G, a guy who was at the same weight class his whole life, and he got praised for it. Well, Canelo challenged himself in that situation. He actually saved Triple G, because if Triple G would have never fought Canelo, he wouldn't have no big career like that. Losing to Canelo multiple times is what he's known for. But Canelo saved Triple G though. Without Triple G, Triple G wouldn't have no career without Canelo. Not the kind of career he got now. The dude got bigger for losing to Canelo. So yeah, we just got to keep everything honest, keep it a buck. That's all it is. But I'm definitely gonna keep it a buck in this situation. But come on, man, pay-per-views, bro. Really? That's one of the biggest fairy tales in boxing, man. It really is. Mexican fighters ain't selling like that. If they was, bro, everybody would have bought the Isaac Cruz and Andrew Ruiz card. They just fought two of the biggest opponents they had in their career on one of the biggest stages, and they fought in California where they have the most Mexicans in America. California has the most well, I don't know. Texas might be. It's either between, I don't know. Texas is pretty close now. I'll still say California has the most Hispanic population. Texas is pretty close though. It's either them or Texas. Nah, I would say them. I would say California because Ryan Garcia fought Oscar Duarte in Houston, Texas. It didn't sell anything. They didn't sell no pay-per-views on Duarte and Ryan Garcia. They fought in Texas, the heart of Texas. And no pay-per-view numbers at all. Ryan Garcia needs a American fighter to fight. And that's just a fact. And this is what Ryan Garcia said right here. He said that's robbing the fans. He's hilarious. Let me go ahead and pull this up before I get off. Ryan Garcia explains why Oscar Duarte fight isn't on pay-per-view. That's robbing the fans. Okay, man. He said that's robbing the fans. A dude who's overweight and on PEDs, he worried about what the fans, what he making the fans pay for. So when all the fans was betting their money on a clean fight that they thought they was betting on, he wasn't thinking about robbing the fans then, huh? But when he's fighting Oscar Duarte, it ain't on pay-per-view because he robbing the fans. like I said, man, Canelo helped Ryan Garcia out. See, Canelo, he didn't help. Well, I gotta take that back. Well, Canelo didn't fight Ryan Garcia though. He fought Triple G, but he didn't fight Ryan Garcia. But he did help his popularity out. Ryan Garcia absolutely got more popular after fighting Oscar Duarte. I mean, not Oscar Duarte, but Triple G got more famous after fighting Canelo. But when Ryan Garcia was around Canelo, he got more famous. He absolutely did. That's when Andrew Ruiz would start hanging around. He was with Canelo. They started making a big deal about that. Then you had pictures floating around. Then those guys split up faster than Charlo and Spence and Derrick James and all those guys split up. But you'll have the fans saying, man, what's going on with Spence and those guys? Why they breaking up? Or what's going on with Tank and Mayweather? It's the same thing that's going on with Ryan Garcia and Canelo. Same thing. It happens all the time. But you'll hear more about Tank and Floyd than you will hear about Ryan Garcia and Canelo. Because those guys aren't real stars, man. Ryan Garcia is not a real star like that. If Ryan Garcia was a real star, they would have bought that Oscar Duarte fight. They would have checked that fight out. People didn't like that fight. I liked that fight. That was a very good fight to me. I hyped that. I made at least 8 videos about that fight. I announced that fight like 3 times. The fight happened in December. I was already talking about that fight in August. This time last year. And the fight didn't happen till December. They didn't announce the fight till like October. Was that a November fight? No, I don't think that was November. It wasn't November because Shakur Stevenson fought in November, late November. So yeah, it was December. And he talking about that's robbing the fans. Same guy who was overweight on PEDs. And you thought you had people betting on a clean fight and it was a dirty fight the whole time. You ain't worried about robbing no fans, man. You done already robbed the fans plenty of times. That's why I gotta hold back on giving out credit now, because I'm giving out credit to guys who's not doing the right thing in boxing, and that's not really a good precedent to set. Standards are getting very low, but yeah, he lied about that though. The pay-per-view numbers, that was false. So for people to sit up here and say, man, Devin Haney doing 150 pay-per-view buys at 24 years old, that's horrible. If that's bad, why would Eddie Hearn sit up here and put Regis Prograis and Devin Haney on pay-per-view if that was bad? And why would he turn around and put Ryan Garcia and Devin Haney on pay-per-view? And why does he still want to do business with him? See, Eddie Hearn knows the real numbers. That's why when everybody's saying that Shakur Stevenson had all those fans tuning in and watching him on ESPN, because what people don't realize is Lomachenko fought on ESPN this year too. But guess who did more numbers between Kambosos and Lomachenko versus Shakur Stevenson and Artem? Why is Shakur Stevenson and Artem doing way more numbers on pay-per-view? I mean, on ESPN than Lomachenko and Kambosos on ESPN. That's didn't make a lot of sense to me. Then I heard the Lomachenko and Kambosos fight sold like 5,000 pay-per-views or something like that. In Australia, what was that number? Let me go ahead and look at that. This is the number for Ryan Garcia and Lomachenko and Kambosos. Because people say, Devin Haney don't sell numbers. And this is how much Lomachenko and Kambosos sold with pay-per-views. Just a fact. 14,000. That's horrible, man. That's terrible numbers. 14,000 is horrible. Then you got this Barrios and Thurman fight that happened in January a couple of years ago. About 2 years ago. 39,000. So we got Lomachenko did 14. Thurman did 39,000. And then Devin Haney turns around and does 150K at 24 years old. When you got guys who's 35 years old who can't do, and ESPN been promoting these guys, what, 4 or 5 years now? Consistently? Devin Haney does those numbers at 24 years old. 150 pay-per-view buys, and somebody says that's terrible. Man, these guys, bro. These guys who make YouTube channels, I'm gonna tell y'all this because a lot of people don't know this. It's a lot of guys already right now thinking of doing something else besides YouTube. I'm talking about guys with big channels. Because you know why? They know that the business is gonna expose them. Turkey Al-Sheikh has already exposed like 95% of the YouTubers who report boxing. Most of these guys, they just get clips from news clippings or headlines, and they'll repost it and then they'll talk about it. What people don't know is half of these stories I post, I come up with them on my own. I don't really steal everybody else's stories. Just like the Cordina versus Shakur Stevenson thing. I knew about that a month ago, when Cordina said, I'm going to 135 and I want to fight Shakur Stevenson. I was supposed to announce that fight a month and a half ago. But you know what I said? I said, I'm going to let everybody talk about Lomachenko and Tank. Then I'm going to let everybody talk about Shakur Stevenson and Tank, because I know Lomachenko's not going to fight Tank. If you look at my channel, I didn't announce Lomachenko versus Tank or Shakur Stevenson versus Tank was going to fight this year. I'm probably the only YouTube channel that has not announced that. None of those guys are fighting this year. I've already said that. I'm the only person that did that, bro. I didn't announce none of those fights. I haven't talked about none of those fights. For what? I know what time it is. I know how the business of boxing gonna go. But what's the use of giving out all the business of boxing when it's a waste to even pass out knowledge like that for? Because that ain't what the fans want to hear. They want to hear you say, man, I think Tank gonna fight Lomachenko next. He ducking. Lomachenko ducking, man. That's what they want to hear you say. But no, I don't talk like that. I talk realistically. The same way Canelo don't feel like fighting right now, Lomachenko don't feel like fighting right now. I mean, last time I checked, Lomachenko was on #1 pound for pound before Canelo was. So what is it? What matters? Is it the skills or the pay-per-view buys? What matters more in boxing? Skills or pay-per-view buys? Trying to figure out what matters more. And right now, from what I've seen, pay-per-view buys matter more. Skills don't really matter. Unless you're a guy like Wilder and they say you can't box because you got a whole bunch of knockouts. But when you see certain guys get outboxed by certain other fighters, and they have a lot of knockouts, nobody says they can't box. So yeah, man, the pay-per-view numbers, all this stuff is like, it has an undertone to it. A lot of these people say it just because of American fighters. Nobody else get these kind of headlines put on them. When it comes to, oh, you can't box, or you can't sell, or your resume is this. A lot of these guys' resumes is horrible. They're not fighting anybody. That's why Turkey Al-Sheikh is stepping in. That's why you had a lot of people saying that he was saving boxing earlier this year. I mean, if you're saving boxing, I mean, the guys who are the face of boxing aren't doing a good job, right? I'm just asking. I don't know. Because I kept asking. I was like, what is he saving? If Canelo's doing an excellent job with boxing, why would we need Turkey Al-Sheikh to save boxing? Oh, because these guys ain't doing a good job at boxing. Oh, okay. That makes a lot of sense then. And that's how it goes now. But yeah, all this stuff getting exposed, man. The more people talk about Devin Haney all the time, and this is the weird thing about the Devin Haney situation. If you seen Devin Haney get destroyed by Ryan Garcia, why do you want to see Devin Haney fight again? I don't hear nobody else saying, hey, man, I want to see Jared Anderson fight Bacoli again. Why do you want to see a guy who y'all say got destroyed by Ryan Garcia, and they can never take away the beating. We seen him get beat down. Why do fans want to see Devin Haney fight so bad again? I don't understand that. It was just like last year when people said that Lomachenko beat Devin Haney. I was asking everybody, why don't y'all want to see Lomachenko fight Tank or somebody right now? That'll be a good fight to make. Nobody mentioned that fight last year. They was talking about Pitbull rematch. Then they started talking about Ryan Garcia versus Tank rematch. Tank is in one of the deepest weight classes. Canelo was in one of the deepest weight classes. But for some reason, they want to see Devin Haney rematch Ryan Garcia, but they say he got destroyed. I've never seen a fighter that I thought they got destroyed in a fight, and I said, I want to see a rematch. That's just like saying Jerry Anderson and Bacoli should fight again. I want to see a rematch. Nobody has said that. A lot of people, we just had one of the closest fights. People said we just had the fight of the year between Virgil Ortiz and Boachik. But for some reason, people said, I don't want to see that fight again. That wasn't the fight of the year then. I've never said I don't want to see the fight of the year again twice. And the fight was close. Yeah, the narrative is running out, man. It really is. It's like at this point right now, they're running out of things to say. But pay-per-view numbers, that's not something to come in this channel to talk about. These guys ain't selling pay-per-views like that. Everybody knows that. Anyway, he even said out his own mouth. Anyway, said I was going to come to America for the American dream because they got a system set up called pay-per-view. Even Anyway knows, like, I got to go to America. He said, I got to go to America to get pay-per-views. But now he's saying, oh, well, the way Japan is set up now, we have all the smaller weight guys coming to Japan. So now I don't got to go to America to get pay-per-views. Even he knows about pay-per-views. Even he knows he got to come to America to get a pay-per-view numbers. He knows that. Said it out his own mouth. But you'll have fans that sit up there and say, man, Anyway got a country, man. He's selling this and this over there. Yeah, now he's getting paid by somebody. But he's not making $50 million, $100 million when he fights. Tyson Fury got what, $50 million? Joshua got $50 million to fight what, an MMA guy? They're not making money like that to fight no regular opponent. Just being honest. Just had an MMA guy get paid more than these boxers did. That's why you have a lot of boxers now like, man, I'm trying to fight with Turkey Al-Sheikh. I just seen Ngannou get $20 million for getting knocked out in the first couple of rounds against Joshua. Then he fought Tyson Fury to the last bell. I know I can do better than that, so let me try to get this $20 million that Ngannou just got. Joshua just got $50 million for that fight. Everybody not selling pay-per-views in America. Everybody not making $50 million. And if these guys are selling a lot of pay-per-views over here, guess what? They're not making the money. They're not making the money that Turkey Al-Sheikh's handing out. It's only a certain amount of guys doing pay-per-views in this world, in the whole world. I think Bitter, Biev, and Bibble, that might, if that's on pay-per-view, if it's on pay-per-view, because I don't know yet, that's going to be the first pay-per-view that he's going to be on. And we're talking about people saying that he's one of the best light heavyweights of all time, if not the best light heavyweight of all time. 100% knockout rate. The dude knocks out everybody. And for some reason, people don't want to pay to see it. They'll rather pay to see Jake Paul. But then they'll tell me that skills matter. Jake Paul ain't got the skills of half of these boxers on pound for pound. But most of the guys on pound for pound do not sell pay-per-views. That's why they're on the pound for pound. So fans that don't know about fighters, they can be like, oh, well, this Bitter Bill guy, he's on pound for pound. They got this Bam Rodriguez guy. Oh, he's on pound for pound. Who else on pound for pound? Oh, they got a Josh Taylor guy on here. Oh, they got some guy on here named Teofimo. They got him like number 10, number 9. He's pound for pound. Oh, this Lomachenko guy, he's number 1 pound for pound. He must be the best fighter right now. Pound for pound is for casuals. I don't know if everybody knows that, but that's what it's for. And so you can look at it and you can be like, okay, I think these are the best guys. They got this guy, Bitter Biv, over him. Okay, Bivol, he's on there over Canelo. Okay, so he must be good. Oh, he fought Canelo? Okay. So that means he's a good fighter. Oh, he beat Canelo. Oh, and he's on pound for pound. What about this Bitterbill guy? He's supposed to fight him next. That's what that's for. Pound for pound is not something that's accurate. It's not something that's, they don't have a whole bunch of guys with undisputed on there. Most of the guys that's undisputed not even on pound for pound. So that just shows you how weak the list actually is. Pound for pound is just for guys who don't know how to sell fights on their own. That's it. End of story. Don't mean the guys are terrible. Don't mean they don't deserve to be on there. But I'm just keeping it a buck. I don't know why other channels don't say this, but I don't know what they're afraid of. But these guys don't sell like that. Devin Haney selling pay-per-views at 24 years old is not 150K pay-per-views at 24 years old is great. Nobody's selling pay-per-views at 24 years old. Like, pay-per-views wasn't even around until Mike Tyson showed up. That's what people don't realize. Mike Tyson was like one of the first guys who actually created a pay-per-view with his own blood and sweat. So what are we talking about? And we've seen how big a star Mike Tyson is right now. And I've seen Mike Tyson lose all his big fights. And what? Do people sit around here and say, Mike Tyson, you lost all your big fights, man. You're a bum. No. They say, Mr. Tyson, can I get a picture? So that's what it is, man. If people start being real about boxing, then the sport will grow better. But they want to come up with certain narratives like, oh, this fighter has to sell this many numbers and this and this. I'll repeat this again. Regis Prograis is not going to be able to get on with another fighter and sell a pay-per-view unless it's Tank Davis or somebody. Even if he fight Teofimo, it's not going to be pay-per-view. There's certain people that's just on pay-per-view. And what Ryan Garcia said about his last fight before Devin Haney. The reason why he isn't on pay-per-view with Oscar Duarte is because that's robbing the fans. He didn't say that when he took a knee against Tank Davis that he was robbing the fans who paid. It's some guys that paid $20,000 to come in there and watch him and Tank Davis fight. He didn't say, man, I'm robbing the fans right now, man. I'm taking a knee. I need to get up. I can still walk. Dude didn't think about robbing the fans then. But that's what happens in the sport of boxing these days, man. People don't understand. Like, a lot of this stuff is used to push certain narratives. That's why Turkey Al-Sheikh is kind of destroying the narratives. That's why when Canelo says everything nice about PBC and Al Heyman, I'm like, whoa. What is this? But it was a red flag, though. When those newspapers a couple of months ago said Canelo needs Al Heyman, Al Heyman is forcing Canelo to fight Munguia, they exposed themselves when they said that. Because you're basically telling me that Canelo, he'll listen to Al Heyman, but not Turkey Al-Sheikh. And I thought Canelo does whatever he wants. How does he do whatever he wants, but he's doing what Al Heyman tells him to do? Then he's saying that he would have a better career with PBC. But then most of the fans that's fans of Canelo don't like PBC because they think it's a black company. Even though Al Heyman has way more guys over that company than just him. And it's a lot of white guys that work at PBC. But people think it's a black company, though. And Canelo knows that's the furthest thing from the truth. And that's why they're like, yeah, man, PBC is not good enough. But now when Canelo's involved with PBC, they love the fights. They love Caleb Plant. They love the Charlo fight. They love the Munguia fight. It's just kind of funny, man. I'm telling you, everything will come out in the wash, man. Everything's going to get exposed. They talking about Turkey Al-Sheikh saving boxing. I don't know if he's saving boxing, but I know he's exposing boxing. He's definitely exposing it. But yeah, that's all I got, man. Appreciate everybody coming through, man. I might come on later on.